Breaking. Men and women can actually be friends.
Can girls and guys just be friends?
Of course.
Stop the cap. This is your friend.
Yeah.
We can and be friends.
Is that what you guys got going on?
You nosy. Why you asking so many?
You're projecting it.
Check this out. Shawty got a man.
Oh, so it's like this is a sneaky. I get it.
Yeah.
You're telling yourself even more.
It's an evil world we live in.
We apologize for our early reporting. We were sadly mistaken here at Local 5, but we promise next time we'll get it right. Thank you. Family, I have a video today that you and Lou need to see, so hit it.
Pretty privilege is not loyal. They're not trying to cook and clean. They're not trying to be your girl. They want to enjoy your perks, but they want to be on OnlyFans. They want to post themselves. They are for the public. They are for the community. They're homie hopping, all that stuff because body count is not a thing. They're like, oh, I can do whatever with my body. So why would a guy with status wipe up with a girl who got a kid, who's in the streets, who's popping her for $4.99 a month on OnlyFans?
Facts, big facts.
Yup. I'm not even gonna lie to you. Watching that video, it really made me think about how there's so many pretty women that are just kind of skating by and living a kind of like free life. And a lot of guys are willing to fund it. But there is now a movement, I'd say, of people who are like, nah, I'm not gonna do it. I'm not gonna pay for her lifestyle.
My thing is I don't blame people for the privileges that they have. If you're very attractive and you have this privilege, that's your right to use that privilege. I blame the people that are allowing that privilege to be used on them. This whole statement, it ain't tricking if you got it. It is. It's still tricking. It's still tricking. All right, it's still tricking. Just because you got the money, you're making it harder on everybody else. You know what I'm saying?
I'm not gonna lie, it does hurt the game.
It definitely hurts the game. You know what I'm saying? Dramatically. And yeah, you might be able to get off, but you understand that now this girl thinks that I can do whatever I want because I'm pretty. And then they get a rude awakening when they get older and, you know what I'm saying, their looks decline. That's why you gotta have more substance.
Now, when it comes to pretty privilege, right? Obviously we know there's people who get treated better. Even better looking guys get treated better. Like they get discounts at stores the same way girls get discounts at stores. You know what I mean? But it's only so long that I think society can tolerate the behavior. I know a lot of pretty women who are starting to feel the effects of people just backlashing. Guys are now, I could say, conscious of the situation.
Yes, definitely.
And they're not gonna spend any more. They try to set up dates where they don't have to spend money. They try to get them to a mutual location so you know it's not gonna be an expensive restaurant. And now pretty women are getting hip to it and they're like, wait a minute.
No more coffee dates.
Yeah, like no more coffee dates. Like, you know what I'm saying? Coffee dates are nice though.
But my thing is this, and this is the sad part about this, right? It feels like both sides are trying to get over on the other.
Yeah.
And before it was not like that. It was an exchange. We understand that, you know what I'm saying, guys will spend money for girls to give them attention all the time and obviously the draws, you know what I'm saying? Which is understandable. But even though both sides knew the intention, it wasn't transactional in that sense. It didn't feel transactional. It felt like, okay, you're actually getting to know this person, you're actually getting, having a good vibe, whatever, you know what I'm saying, whatever happens. But now it's like, she's like, oh, I want a 5-star restaurant right now, you know what I'm saying?
We're not doing that.
You know what I'm saying? I want to eat the best steak and whatever. You guys spend like $700.
You're having vegan dishes.
Exactly. Or the other guy's like, I'm not spending no money, you know what I'm saying? Like, we just not spending no bread. If she can't do a coffee date, if she ain't trying to come over at 12 o'clock at night, then it ain't nothing.
It used to be like a nice middle ground for it.
Exactly. You know what I'm saying? And now it's just like.
But I think that people are trying to get to know you.
Yeah.
So if you're gonna go on a date, she really wants to hear what you're saying, and you want to hear what she's saying.
Exactly.
And maybe on the 3rd, 4th date, you get that girl who really wants to pay. She's like, no, I got this.
Exactly.
That would show a guy like she really interested, you know what I'm saying?
Exactly.
And I'm really interested in her. So then it becomes like a whole mutual thing where, obviously the relationship grows from there.
Yeah.
Now it's just like, how could I get off?
Yeah,
and
now it's literally about how can I get over?
Yeah, and especially in that particular video we just watched, you see how she's talking about how I'm pretty, so like it's like a blessing for me to date you. And so I'm still going to do OnlyFans, I'm gonna bring a kid into the picture that's not yours, but I expect you to go above and beyond, and I'm still allowed to do whatever in the world I wanna do. Guys know when they're getting a raw deal, you know?
But see, here's the thing, right? The problem I have with it, if that's how you wanna go about it, fine. If somebody's gonna deal with that, fine. But the problem you have is, if you're saying, I'm pretty, so I can do whatever I want, and you're gonna pay for everything and all that stuff, fine. When you become less pretty, and he wants to change up to a newer model, you cannot be upset then because you were saying because you was pretty, you can do whatever you want. Now you're not as pretty. Now your ranking has dropped.
Yeah,
now
falling off.
There's new 22-year-olds coming out here. You know what I'm saying? So now he's like, okay, I'm gonna move to a newer model. And then you see them upset, and that's why I have a problem with it. If this is the playing field, fine. We accept it. These are the rules. Cool. But then when the rules don't benefit you, you can't be like, this game is crap. You can't do that.
Think about this. Most women, the pretty ones, don't outlast the girl with the cool personality or the average looking woman.
Yeah.
If you look at a lot of those super millionaires and billionaires, their wives look regular.
Yeah.
Yeah, like they're not IG models, you know what I'm saying? I mean, they mess around with some hot women, or they might cheat on their wife with some hot women, but at the end of the day, they kind of always have like a regular girl.
Exactly.
Because they probably already know the problems that come with dating somebody who's got pretty privilege.
Yeah.
And not to mention, it's not like all pretty women have that type of personality.
Yes.
Because I think there's like these rare occurrences where
these diamonds in the roughs.
Yeah, diamonds in the rough in the sense where she wasn't pretty her whole life.
Yes.
So she had time to develop a personality besides just beauty.
Or she grew up in a situation where even though she was very pretty, that wasn't their type. You know what I'm saying? So she grew up in a situation where she didn't think so highly of herself. So she was, grew a personality. She actually had to bring, say some other things than her looks. And then you meet those, and you see they get married by every NFL player out there. But them boys, as soon as they get a taste.
If you're a mixed baddie in goddamn Idaho
or Oregon,
yeah, like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not saying there ain't no a bunch of mixed baddies in Idaho, but let's just say that you're like in the middle of Idaho in some small town. To be honest, I don't know what your options are like, but they probably not like South Florida. It's probably not like New York. So you might grow up in a sense where everybody looks down upon you. Then obviously the girl moves out to New York, she moves out to LA, she moves out to South Florida, and all of a sudden she's like, damn, people love me.
Yeah.
That girl already developed a personality.
Yeah.
She's probably already cool.
Yeah.
She probably already likes the geeky stuff you into. So dealing with her is a lot easier. You're like, man, I got me one. And we bump into those where we go to these anime conventions and you see the guys who got them one. You're looking at that girl like, man, she probably wasn't like that in high school, but now she's pressured. And this guy who's kind of geeky and if you want to put it that way, he got her. He got off.
And these guys,
he stole one.
They be clenched up like there's no tomorrow.
Oh, they don't let them
They're
go.
like, I'm never leaving this girl. This girl's gonna have 6 of my kids. It's over with. And I gotta commend those guys. And I also gotta commend the women that are now calling out this type of behavior. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, like I said, it's not guilt for either party. Because women, when they take advantage of that pretty privilege, eventually you're not gonna be in that class anymore. Eventually, like they said, you're gonna be the old bitch in the club. You know what I'm saying? Like, eventually you're not gonna be that. So at some point you should develop other skills, other things that, will attract the opposite sex. And vice versa. Guys, yes, you know what I'm saying? Eventually, that, the money thing's cool, but not gonna lie, she'll still buck on you. And for both parties, you gotta bring more to the table, bro. You can't just be like, oh, I'm rich, you know what I'm saying, and that's it. And you can't just be like, I'm pretty and that's it. Because eventually, if you want a long-term relationship, which, you know what I'm saying, I think both sides kind of want that. I mean, whether you believe in marriage or whatever, I think most people want a companion to live with, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, the goal of most people is to have a companion.
Yeah.
People imagine that humans or guys essentially want to run around messing with every single girl on the planet. That's not necessarily true. Some people just really the majority want to find somebody that's really, really cool.
Yes.
But the thing is, guys are somewhat picky. Like, as weird as it is, you're like, oh my gosh, she's beautiful. Now you're going for her. You're knee deep in this girl. You feel what I'm saying? And all of a sudden, her personality after a few months, because I to be honest with you, after you've been with her for a while, you start looking for other things. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But now you start to see something's wrong with her personality. She's always snapping on you. She's always nagging you. She's always on edge. Like, and you're like, it's even though she's pretty, it's not worth it.
Exactly.
And if you're somebody who's got money like that, you don't even have to deal with it. You just move her out and then go get the next one.
And that's what it is. At the end of the day, men want peace. You could be gorgeous, but after he smashed you a few times, one guy, that's trash is another man's treasure. After he smashed you 4, 5, 10 times, 20 times, you're not the shiny new thing anymore.
That is
so. What is the sticking power? After you know what I'm saying, he hit you every which way, out there. What's gonna make me last? Are you know what I'm saying? Are you nagging me all the time? Do you not cook? Are you doing all these things that makes it like, okay, I can just find somebody else like this? You know what I'm saying?
If you're obsessed with just looks, that's one of the signs for me that you just have no experience. Because you're just looking for girls that look nice. If you've dealt with enough women, especially women that look good, man, you don't even care no more. You just want somebody who's regular. Like regular in the sense where they're not losing their temper over like small little things. Pretty women tend to lose their temper about small things. They try to turn everything into a big fight. That I don't know why. Maybe because their father treated them some way, or maybe society treats them. So hearing no is like this thing. They got a problem with hearing the word no. So as a guy, you don't want to deal with that all the time.
I think it's the attraction thing. In society, they're never told no.
But at the end of the day, most men are gonna have to make a decision. Are you gonna deal with a woman who's pretty but a horrible personality? Or are you gonna get somebody with a great personality who's average? I know where I fall. I wanna know where you fall. So let me know in the comment sections. Family, I have a video that you and Lou need to see. So hit it.
Hey, I spent all day with you. Now you're gonna go do your nails. You're gonna go do your eyebrows. You're gonna go do your lashes. You're gonna go shopping. And you're gonna leave me alone with all of this for the rest of the day. You happy?
Cut you. Again, don't get me wrong. I'm not saying you shouldn't do something nice for your spouse. Obviously, you definitely should. I don't know. They look like they're dating. I'm assuming they're dating. But the thing that made me take all the money back personally, when she said that's not enough. Hey, cut. It is I don't want to say it is a privilege. I'm giving you money, a lot of money, you know what I'm saying? And to say that it's not enough, like there's a certain amount that I have to give you, just shows the ungratefulness for me.
Well, I feel as if, is she really there for you? Because that money swayed her immediately. I looked at that and I was like, damn, look at this girl. She just wants more and more and more money. She doesn't really care about him because, if it's somebody you love, don't you want to spend time with him? Don't you really want to be around that person? So he's telling me like a few $100 will make you go away? I know that some guys are willing to pay for the woman to leave, as they say, but I don't know, that looked mad suspicious on that girl's part.
Yeah, for me, one, I think he's probably paying her so he can go smash somebody else or something like that. That's what I'm thinking. Because the only reason why you're saying, here's a bunch of money so you can leave me alone for the rest of the day, meaning that I want to do something that you're not gonna be privy of. Now, mind you, obviously when guys have that kind of finances, they tend to do those type of things.
Yeah.
And I guess for him, he's like, I'd rather just pay this person to go away for me to do that. But my mindset is, if she's there for the money, then why you should be single and just do the same thing anyways.
I could buy another one.
Exactly.
That's like, some women will be with you for status. Some women will be with you for money. Which one do you feel is more important? Like, you know what I'm saying? Which one do they value the most? Because it seems your personality just went to the side. They only care about how much money you spending or your status. The only debate at this point now, the way a lot of these videos have shown us behavior-wise, they've given up on personality. They want you to be rich or you have to have some type of status.
For me, that's a tough life. And the sense where I say it is this. Again, I know it's probably cliche. I want somebody who likes me for me, right? But at the end of the day, when you have a certain level of money, who really likes you for you? And you also don't know who's gonna be predatory once you take the money away from them.
Oh yeah.
And to entrust somebody like that with your secrets, because again, highly powerful men, they want somebody to, obviously rub their back and make them feel good about themselves. If I tell you something, or if you know something because of my business, and that's why there's a lot of powerful men that don't tell their spouses anything, because it could be used against them. You know what I'm saying? In this situation, if she's there for the money, my mind's thinking, if somebody has more money than me, they can get to her very easily.
Yeah. Think about this. How many women do you know have weaponized information that they got? First of all, this person pretended like they liked you. You dated this person. You spent money on this person. I'm talking about purses, cars, flights to expensive locations. And this girl turns around and treats you like somebody she doesn't care about. She immediately runs to tabloids and tells them all the dirty details of your business. You know what I mean? They write tell-all books. And all that is just money that you're losing over and over and over. Why? Because you decided to like somebody, then, I don't know, you ended up breaking up with them?
Look at the 5-year-old foreign case and his baby mother. I guess they had a dispute with him not giving her a certain amount of money. And the first thing she went and did was, oh, he might be gay, he da-da-da, you know, so he does this and that. And it's like, bro.
Slander. Immediate slander.
Because we had a disagreement about finances, you went and slandered my name. Then you came back and apologized. For me, that makes me uncomfortable because now I know for a fact. I'm pretty sure he probably knew this beforehand, but he was thinking with the wrong head. Now you know for a fact, if there is a money discrepancy, you sold down the river. If anything goes wrong, you are sold down the river. She does not care about you.
I will say this, I disagree with the idea that you know beforehand. I'm pretty good at reading people, but they have become so deceitful, so well trained on that art that now they can mask who they are for like months, years even. And then they deploy all that evil behavior onto you like whenever they're not getting their way. They usually say that sooner or later you show who you really are, right? Mm-hmm. And usually it lasts what? You could hide it for like a week for some people, but then you're like, damn, like something's wrong with this person. Man, they become so good they can hide it for like 10 years.
That's a tough pill to swallow for me. Like I don't know. Like I said, nobody likes to be used, and that's the crux of the situation. No one likes to be used. Everybody is getting used. Some people, you know, obviously men use women for, you know, obviously they have their kids and all this and that, and women use men for their finances, their status, and all that. We understand that's the dynamic, but you don't want to feel like you're being used.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
gotta hide it a little.
Yeah, you know, deceive me. You know what I'm saying? Let me know. It made me think, okay, you actually care for me, whatever. But this girl's like, hey man, more bread.
Yeah.
More bread. Give me
like,
some more. I need more now.
Give me more hundreds.
Yeah, like, come on, bro. Like, hey, I'm your picky bank. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, and that's what it is.
And he's okay with it.
He is.
I can't even film something like that. Listen, if I'm tricking and I'm giving a lot of money to some girl, I ain't posting it online. Y'all ain't gonna know that. I can't let the streets know I'm like that.
Man, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I'm giving her counterfeit hundreds. Man, I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
Prop money.
I'm gonna be like, hey, you know what I'm saying? I'll tell you all that, leave me alone. And then see what she do. Once you try to go spin that thing, I'm like, see? Look at you. That's what you get.
And to be honest, is she going to invest that money? What is she gonna do? She's just gonna blow it like she blows the rest of your money. Why would you even give her that much money in the first place? Listen, you could just tell your girl, listen, we can't hang out all day, all right? I'm gonna go hang out with the boys. I'm not gonna give you, you know, $2,000 to leave. What would you do if I went to go hang out with my friends anyways? You're just gonna go hang out with your friends also, right?
My question to you is this, right? I don't know what this person does. I don't know his profession.
Probably rich.
But do you think he's like that because he doesn't? Now, mind you, obviously we working men, you know what I'm saying? We was not raised in money. Do you believe he's like that because maybe he always had it, so he doesn't value it like that? Because for me, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I work hard, you know what I'm saying? If I get to a certain level where I have that kind of money, it doesn't matter. I still worked hard to get here, so I'm not gonna give it all freely or willy-nilly like that.
I grind for every penny I've ever gotten.
So
completely grind. I'm talking about homeless and grinding. So when it comes to my money, I do not play about my money. But here's one thing. I did know a dude who was born into money, very rich, not a good looking guy, but his women were always like Brazilian models. They just were, right? But they didn't like him for him. His personality-wise, he was abrasive. Like, you get what I'm saying? It is what it is, you know what I mean? No offense, you just were abrasive, bro. But the women would hang around him and just stick to him. But I knew it was because, he's rich, and he would spend a lot of money. So to him, it wasn't nothing. But to me, I couldn't just be handing out like Hellcat money to no girl. Like, you know what I'm saying? I'm not giving you Hellcat money.
That's just the thing. And that may be his situation or his case. But like, I think even if I was raised in money like that, the idea, like, how are you okay feeling used like that? Like, if I'm paying for dinner, I know I'm paying for dinner, but at least go for the hand grab to the check. You know what I'm saying? Just give, console me that way. Act like you don't pay. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's the simple things, it's little small things that make us feel good. It's that type of stuff. But if she's like, you know you paying the check, like I'm like, bro.
Oh no, that's disrespectful.
You know what I'm saying?
You can't look at me and be like, oh, you paying.
You got this.
Nah, you can't say that, man.
She out here, hurry up. You know you got this. It's like, come on, bro. You can't do us like that. It's the small gestures that make you feel, you know what I'm saying, respected. I don't know how this guy feels respected when she says more money like that.
I wouldn't feel respected at all. I wouldn't feel like the person actually liked me.
I wouldn't either.
I can't bring you home to no family member. Come on now, you just some girl that I give money to sometimes, who shows up, we hook up, you go home. You know what I mean? One of my girls, because now I gotta have a rotation. Yeah. Because at this point, I got all this money and I'm just handing it out to people. I might as well have a rotation of women.
But I ain't gonna lie, I'm not bringing her to mommy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not bringing her to mommy out here like that, bro. I'm sorry, it's just, my mom is real. You know what I'm saying? My mom would be like, hey, get this girl out of here quick, because again, and that's part of the reason why you should have certain family members that you trust and believe in to meet these type of people, because any real family member or friend will tell you, hey bro, she tripping. You know what I'm saying? Like, get her up out of here. Because in a relationship, it's not the going out on trips and dates and all that stuff. That's the easy stuff. But it's when, tragedy strikes. It's when heartache strikes. When things are hard. That's what, defines a relationship. And you know for a fact, as soon as any trepidation or any kind of issues come about, she's out of there. So
well,
what's the point?
I gotta ask this though. If you got money like that, and your family know you got money like that, who's gonna tell you no? Let's be real. If you bring this girl over, ain't nobody gonna tell you no. Valid. They're scared you're gonna cut them off.
Valid.
The money makes everybody act crazy.
It does.
It's crazy. I've seen people with real money, and I've seen they make the world go crazy about them. That's the best way I could put it.
But see, I'm gonna be honest with you, that's a pretty lonely existence.
It is, it's lonely.
Because if you think about it, in the situation, your family can't tell you the truth.
No.
The girl, you don't know she really likes you.
No.
So then who do you confide in? And again, you could go talk to your boys. But your boys ain't gonna tell you, like, they're gonna be like, hey,
they're yes men.
They're gonna say you do whatever you want to because they don't wanna get cut off.
Think about how many rappers have been in situations because nobody told them no.
Exactly.
Your friends stop telling you no. You going into the most dangerous hoods everywhere, doing just knuckleheaded stuff that could, cost you your life, and nobody's telling you no. I've told my friends no about a lot of things. Maybe because I ain't got that type of money. You know what I'm saying? But I tell my friends no. Like, well, don't do that, don't do this, you know what I mean? I wouldn't post that if I were you. I look out for my people. The moment you start to rely on another man like that, you just let anything slide.
That's the thing. Sometimes you gotta save people from themselves, bro.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And in that situation, like, if I'm really your friend, even if, you might cut me off or you might not, rock me like that anymore, I feel good at night knowing that I did what I thought was right and try to help you out the best I can. Now, you know what I'm saying? And I truly believe in the long run, he's gonna realize that you were a good friend, you were a good person for doing that. Because at the end of the day, man, like I said, stand for something or fall for anything. I don't care if you're, stupid rich. If I'm your friend and I really rock with you like that, I can't feel good knowing that I'm either allowing you to do bad decisions or taking advantage and abusing that friendship.
What happens to the girl when somebody with more money comes around?
She's gone. She's gone. Absolutely out of there. Here's the thing. Let's be honest.
You setting yourself up for failure with that.
I got another one for you. Watch this. What if she takes that money and she's paying the rent from another dude? Ooh. Which girls do that done multiple times. She got, he said, don't bother me all day. Okay, she takes the money and she goes to her other crib with the other dude who ain't paying nothing and is out here knocking her down.
Listen, I used to mess with a girl who did do that. She would take another man's money to pay for our stuff. You understand that? She's using someone else's money to fund our lifestyle. And because you're a rich dude who don't care,
you're not checking.
Yeah. So you're getting used. Now, I do not condone that, and please don't come for me. But it was messed up. That's the best way I could put it.
So if I was a confidant of this guy, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I have to tell him, man, hey, your chick, she gotta get up out of here.
She gotta go.
She gotta get up out of here.
But hey, I wanna know, man. Would y'all ever give a woman this much money just to get some peace? Let me know in the comments section.
If you have a baby daddy and he takes care of his child, then why don't? Because he on child support. I don't understand y'all females. Y'all put these men on child support when they do everything they can in their power to make their baby happy. But y'all want to see that man so miserable that you want to be so selfish that you put a child, your own child, in the midst of that. saying that he don't take care of his child just so you could get money out this man. That's so selfish. And then most of the time, y'all get child support from these men and you won't even let them see their child. What kind of is that? These baby need their daddies. They don't give a fuck about you and what you got going on. They want to see their child. Why the fuck are y'all keeping them away from their child or children? This is the type of generation that needs their daddies, but y'all ain't letting them. Y'all keeping their daddies away from them just because you have hate toward that man. Your baby didn't do nothing to you, so why are you keeping that baby away from their daddy? I don't understand it. That is so freaking selfish to me. I wish I had my daddy. Now put yourself in my shoes. What your child on?
Finally, somebody is exposing these money-hungry vampires. These women have been using men for their money. They're using their children as a weapon to gain a financial advantage in life. That's crazy.
We know that this has been happening for a very long time. I'm just happy someone of the female persuasion is telling the truth for once. Stop keeping these babies from their daddies, man.
For real.
And I'm gonna be honest with you, not every guy is a great father. We understand that, you know what I'm saying? But there are a lot of guys out here who want to be fathers and who want to be in their kids' life. And even if, you know what I'm saying, they do give child support, they still want to see their kid. Stop keeping these kids from their dads, man. That's how you raise men, that's how you raise women.
These women have shown that they will use everything in their power to leverage the situation. Kids are no different. They'll use your children as the tool to get back at you for leaving them. If you didn't want to be with this girl, she's going to take that kid, hide that kid from you, and demand financial support from you.
The thing I have a problem with the most is, yes, they're gonna use the kid to, spite you, you know what I'm saying? But not just that, they're also gonna destroy your relationship with your child while you're not around.
Most definitely.
These women will be saying the most vile, vicious things to your child while you're not there. One thing I didn't understand when I was younger is, stay in a child's place. That statement is very true because these mothers of these children are including the father in their relationship. That's not supposed to happen. That child does not need to know your burdens or your issues with their father. That has nothing to do with them.
That is one thing I could say that I really dislike seeing. Sometimes I hear kids talking about one of the parents in a certain way, and you think in your head like, there's no way that you just think this on your own. Mm-hmm. This has to be one of the family members, be it the mother or the father, bad-mouthing the other person.
Exactly.
And so most of the time, it's the mother bad-mouthing the father.
Yeah.
To the point where now the kid's like, oh, this, my parent he's nothing.
They regurgitate the rhetoric that they heard. And that's the worst part because not only are you keeping that man from seeing that child, but you're also destroying that relationship. So even if after they're away from you and they're old enough to understand, they probably still won't have a relationship with that dad because they think his dad is a certain type of way. When in actuality, he didn't want to leave his kid. He wanted to leave you.
It's vulture behavior. I could never accept vulture behavior. That's something in my life that I've seen some women have that I dislike. The moment I see it, it seems like they're waiting for an opportunity. They're waiting for a way to climb the ladder of life using somebody else. I don't even deal with women like that.
But we got to get to the bigger topic, man. Why are they incentivized to do these things?
That is true.
Because at the end of the day, what they're doing is horrific. But if you put a dollar amount on her leaving her spouse, of course she's gonna do it. And with all the things that they have that benefit them, like Section 8 housing, child support and all these things, it basically incentivizes the woman to leave the guy and put him on child support.
Yeah.
And the real issue is the government gets a cut of that, whatever, and it's a whole vicious cycle. So they're basically destabilizing homes while also getting paid for it.
Most men know that there's only a handful of things in life that you get. You get to have your kids, and you might get to have like a loyal chick. That's a maybe. But the women have this expectation of all the things they're going to get in life. They're going to get a free ride, if you will, in a relationship. Some of them, not all of them want a free ride, but some of them are like, okay, I want a man to take care of me. I want to have a child. I want to have a house. All these things are things that she can leave with and leave you with nothing. Because she could leave with a child, she could leave with your money, and then she could go get another guy to live in your house that you paid for.
For me, it's a vicious cycle, and I blame the system just as much as I blame the mothers. Because again, if you don't fix the system, this will never change. It's just, one feeds the other. Like, because at the end of the day, if you're gonna get incentivized, if you put anybody in a situation where they get incentivized to do certain things, they're gonna do it. If I put a, saying $100 on the table, and I say if you take it, there will be no punishment for it. Everybody will take that $100. And in this situation, basically they take the 100 and they get paid extra money. They take the 100 and they get another 20 on top.
And here's the crazy part to me. It's always some of the nicest people that get screwed over when it comes to the child support system. It's really some guys who really want to see their kid, who really want to raise a family, but this chick wants to act crazy, right?
But there's even more egregious cases, like the guy who got put on child support and the child wasn't even his.
Ooh.
He took the paternity test and I was like, this child ain't yours. But she put your name on a birth certificate. What kind of system is this where this child is not even my child? I took a blood test to show this is not my child, but because this person was irresponsible and didn't know who the father of her child was, she put my name down, so I got to be stuck with this kid for 18 years.
And think about this. How is a man really supposed to prevent that? You know?
You can't.
There's certain things that it's a hard thing to bring up to a woman. If you don't think a kid is yours, right? And you bring it up, now you risk, let's say your relationship is good, and you want to bring up that, I don't think this kid is mine. You know what's coming with that.
Yes.
You know this is going to end up being a big fight. Mm. You know this might end up being like the two of you breaking up. Let's say it really turns out it is your child, right? Mm. Now she left you, and she doesn't want to deal with you anymore because she thinks you don't trust her.
Yes.
But here's the thing. Some women have created a situation where it's hard to trust. Now men are just stuck in a situation where they gotta play the bad guy, if you will.
But see, here's the thing too, man. For me, I feel like paternity tests should be mandatory.
Should be mandatory.
It should be mandatory. And I don't see the downfall of it. You know what I'm saying? Because let's be honest, let's say for instance that child isn't his. He won't sign the birth certificate and he goes on about his merry way, but she's still gonna get the support from the government that she's gonna get either way, whether he's there or not. So what's the downfall to that? But I feel like they do this to make the man's life harder.
Yeah, I've seen guys flee the country. Like, it's to the point where they're like, man, I can't get locked up for this child support stuff. And they flee the country and move back to like a country, their original country of origin.
For me personally, because I know so many people that was on child support, I see guys get defeated, man.
Yeah.
I see guys like, man, they spent my license already. I can't get to work, man. Why am I even trying? Let me just go to jail. And that is, it's so counterproductive because I don't understand if this person on child support, he cannot pay. What would be suspending his license to make him not be able to go to work to pay the child support due? It makes no, it literally is a vicious cycle, man.
It's just a setup, man. It's like the whole game is rigged for guys to lose. And it's just sad.
I was watching a video the other day and this female was just saying how men don't require anything and men don't really want anything. Wait a minute. Men love surprises as well. They love gifts. They love to be taken on vacations. They love you to take them to their favorite restaurant. Do not be confused because a man doesn't speak on it that he does not want anything. And even if he doesn't ask for it, it's okay to be thoughtful. Especially if this is somebody you've been with. This is something you should pay attention to. When you first meet a man, look at the things that he likes. Look at the things that he enjoy to do. Look at the shoes he likes to wear, the cologne he likes to wear, the places he likes to go. Men love to be treated well just as much as we do.
See, now this is how some women end up getting married. That is the type of woman any man would love to put a ring on. You see how smart she is? She knows that you would appreciate things. And she pays attention to certain things and she caters to her man.
See, for most women, they don't understand that men do like nice things. We may not ask for it because we don't expect it. And it's sad because a lot of men don't expect it because they never get it. We don't expect things that we don't get. I like sandwiches. You come home one day and she has a sandwich made for you. It's those things you like. This is a caper right here. You know what I'm saying? This one,
that is.
It be the smallest thing. You come home from work, you're tired, she rub it back a little bit. That's it. It's just like the littlest things. But because men don't get these things often, those things stick out. You know what I'm saying? And it makes you wifey material.
Crazy part is I used to date a girl that used to love spending money on me, right? She would buy me all types of stuff. And I genuinely appreciated it. Like to the point where she still sticks in my mind because of all the good things she did for me, right? And I've dated some women who didn't want to spend jack. They didn't want to give me a dime for anything. They wanted me to, they were a walking liability. Let me be honest with you. They were just going to wait till you spend and spend and spend till you go broke. That's essentially the type of women they were.
I remember I was dating this girl one time and to be honest with you, like I said, I don't ask for nothing. I don't, that's not my thing. But was going to work, and when I got in the car, she had a Gatorade for me. Just randomly, a Gatorade. That Gatorade meant so much to me. That was like 15 to 17 years ago. And I still remember this situation because, again, it was just a nice gesture. Did I ask for the Gatorade? No. But did I like the Gatorade? I did. And those are the small things that stick in guys' mind. Mm-hmm. Because, again, you're so used to being taken advantage of and just, expected to give all the time. When someone gives back, those things really, you remember. They stick in your mind. So
I need to know who raised this girl. What type of happy family were you raised in, young lady, for you to be sitting back talking about you want to take care of people, that you want to take them to their favorite restaurant, that you want to have their favorite cologne given to them? You are a good person. That is hard to find. Because some of these vultures out here are just abusing and taking advantage of all the men they can.
And here's the ones that trip me out, right? When girls think they're doing something nice and they buy you things that either they want, or things that are meant to improve the house, or ties. Oh, here, honey, I bought you a wrench. Hey, cuz, I don't want a wrench, all right? I don't need this wrench that you bought me so I can fix the plumbing. You know what I'm saying? Like, those things women do a lot, and they're like, oh, I buy him things. Listen, are you really buying him something, or are you just doing something for yourself?
It's like the cliche, right? Where men get like socks or ties for like Christmas or for their birthday. That shows that don't nobody care about you, all right? If somebody's buying you a tie over and over and over, or socks over and over and over again, then is that really somebody who cares about you? Just think about this, right? When you go out and you get to buy yourself something, you have a certain taste, a certain swag about yourself, right? Especially when it comes to clothing. When your woman buys you something, it sometimes seems like she's the one who wants you to be dressed like this. You may not even like this particular style, but this girl went out and bought you this flannel shirt.
It's because they want you to look the way they want you to look. Even though it's a gift for you, it's really a gift for them.
Yeah.
In that sense. You know what I'm saying? It's like, be honest with you, when these people buy you ties or socks, there literally is no thought in it. You're not
at all
taking into account what I actually like. And that's the sad part about it, because like, guys are literally used to not getting nothing ever. Like, guys are used to Father's Day being discounted. Guys are used, like, this is just the life of a man. And we're not complaining about it, we understand it. But when you hear somebody who says, nah, they like stuff too, and nah, you should get them something. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Give it a little bit of thought. That stuff, it's like, man, somebody finally gets it. Somebody finally sees where we're coming from.
Well, I gotta say, we have to take some blame for this too. We're allowing this to happen.
Definitely.
We need to value ourselves a lot more. Be like, hey man, I'm not gonna tolerate this. I want a nice gift. I want to eat at this restaurant. I want this too. If we did that, then we could put at least some type of pressure on them for them to, kind of start acting right when it comes to that situation. Because the expectations for us is that we remember every single event.
Yes.
That we buy you everything you want and somehow be a mind reader. Yes. You know what I mean?
Yes, definitely. It goes so far as they'll glance at something and they want you to remember what they glanced at the jewelry store and get it for Valentine's Day. That's how it is. So, but the thing is the reason why guys don't usually do that, one, is because guys, we kind of just deal with things. A lot of times we just deal with things, and that's not a good thing. But we just naturally, that's how we are. We're just like, okay, whatever. You know what I'm saying? We don't make a big fuss about things. That's one. And two, I know a lot of guys that are afraid to speak up on certain situations because their girls be visceral when you say some stuff. Like, the girls get like, they're like, go ahead, tell me. You be like, well, I didn't really like the gift you bought me. What do you mean you don't like my gift? See, now I'm like, why would I ever bring this up to you again?
They will get very angry.
They get very angry. So guys are like, man, do I really want this argument? I just buy what I want to buy when I want to buy it. That's kind of the deal. So men tend to get in this mindset where it's like, is the fight really worth it? Is this argument, is me not getting the smash really worth it? And a lot of guys are like, man, I should buy what I want and just keep it moving.
I wasn't gonna say this, but I will say it anyways. A few gifts that I have received, right, from women that I was dating, I have a sneaking suspicion that they were stolen. I'm not gonna lie to you. There's a couple times, there's some tags or some things on the gift that made me go, wait a minute, they take these things off. Like, I'm like, did this person just steal? In order to not buy me a gift, you went to a store and you stole? You stole this cologne? You're wild.
I'm not gonna lie. I wouldn't put it past them. Be honest with you, women don't really like spending money on guys.
They don't.
But guys don't ask for money to be spent on them either. So it's like, it's a catch-22 in that sense. But for me, like I said, I like nice things, you know what I'm saying? But I just have the mindset that I'm gonna get it for myself. Now, again, I've had somebody, you know what I'm saying, who on my 18th birthday got me 18 gifts, and it's all things that I like, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't major things. It was like, I like chess. It was like a rook, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I like, you know what I'm saying, a video game. She bought me a video game. Stuff like that. It was like, it's stuck in my mind. This is another like 13, 14 years ago, because it was so thoughtful. It took time and planning. And even though it's all knickknacks and, you know, trinkets, it just shows that how much you pay attention to what I actually enjoy.
Yeah,
what
that's a great thing about it.
You know what I'm saying? Like what I actually want, you know, am interested in. And that's what people really want. Just knowing that the person that they like, you know, pays attention to the stuff they like too.
Well, now you tell me, have you ever received a gift that you thought was worthy? Because a lot of women are skimping, y'all. Let me know in the comments section.
Why would I listen to you?
Family, this young lady thinks that it's a bad idea to take advice from a single mother. Her own mother at that. How do you and Lou feel about that?
I think she's right. Listen, guys, all right? If I want to start a successful business, you know what I'm gonna ask? Successful businessman.
Businessman.
If I want to know how to be in a happy marriage, you know what I'm gonna ask? Happy married people.
True.
Your mom is a single mother. Now, whatever reason, you know what I'm saying, she's not with your father, who knows? You know what I'm saying? I'm not gonna, you know, act like I can figure out why they're not there together. One thing I can say is that even after your father's gone, she never got with another person and could never make a relationship last into your, you know what I'm saying, adulthood. So, are you telling me that she never dated somebody else at that point? Was it the dating game was just done? Of course not.
I want to know what her mother did to end up in that position. Because the way she's not taking that advice, I want to think it's the mother's fault. And she knows it's the mother's fault that the men don't stay around. Was your mom aggressive? Did she constantly yell or nag at your father? Did your father have to flee the scene to protect himself? Is that what really went down?
That's her daughter. She knows what happened. She's like, Mom, listen, you can say whatever you want. I don't believe nothing you say. And it's not a slight to her mother, but she's just being honest. We gotta be honest with ourselves. The mom should have been honest with herself and be like, honey, I don't know how to please a man because I couldn't keep a man to stay. For like, the girl looked like she's like in her 20s.
Yeah.
So how long did you can't please a man? They said the dad left at 5. That's 15 years of not pleasing another man.
That is true.
Come on, man. So to me, like, I'm happy this young girl is wise enough at her young age to be like, Mom, I'm not gonna take your advice.
Now the funny thing is, to me, some women can hook them, but they can't keep them. And when you notice there's a trend of them jumping or monkey branching from guy to guy to guy, that's really a big red flag. A lot of guys don't want to date somebody like that. And that's why I think a lot of women love to hide the fact that they are dating so many people at the same time, because they keep failing over and over. I know if I was on the basketball court, I'm shooting all these shots and I'm missing. I wouldn't want everybody to know that. I wouldn't want it recorded. I wouldn't want anybody tracking my stats. And I think that's the same way with some women.
And here's the thing, and this is factually speaking. Men, when they find someone good, they tend to stay. That's just what it is. I mean, like, you know, I'm not saying they're gonna be faithful the whole time. I'm not saying that. I'm never gonna say that. You know what I'm saying? But they tend to stay even if they're unfaithful. Because if you find something good, you stick with it. Women tend to be the ones that leave more. Obviously, you look at the divorce rates.
They do initiate, what is it, 70% of all divorces, or 80%?
Yeah. So, you know, men, if he really cared for you, he may have strayed and stepped out. I'm not saying he's not. But either way, if you're the man, he gonna come back to you.
What's crazy to me is that men can tolerate a lot.
We can.
Like, we have a very, very high tolerance level, right? Work sucks, life sucks, family is a whole mess, but you keep tolerating and you push through things. I noticed that a lot of men could deal with a boring relationship. We could be bored for the rest of our lives. So you put us in our grave and we're just gonna stay with the same person that we're bored with. If a woman gets bored or she doesn't feel it anymore, she's out the door immediately. You lost the girl.
And that's part of the problem with, you know, long-term relationships with men and women is that Men are creatures of habit.
Yeah.
Once we get stuck in something, that we can do this for 70, 80 years.
Yeah.
We don't care. This is, I go play football every Sunday, and that's what's gonna happen. I go bowling every Monday. That's what's gonna happen. You know what I'm saying? I stay late. You know what I'm saying? Play poker with the guys every Wednesday. And what happens is we're very routine based. Well, women are not. They like spontaneity. They like things to change and all that stuff. And that's why a lot of times things get dull in relationships, because men like routine, women like spontaneity. And like I said, that little girl, she's smart. Her mom, probably was with a good guy. She probably seen her mom with a good guy. And she's like, why did you leave him? Oh, he was boring. And that girl's like, I'm not listening to you.
But I want to know this. How are they going to fix this, right? How are they going to get themselves and put themselves in a better position? Because if you can't take advice from single mothers, and now the dating market is dominated with single mothers, who do you go to? Are you going to come to like the manosphere section and start getting advice from them? Because you've seen how some women crucified like Kevin Samuels. Like they hated everything he talked about.
This is what it is. They should come to the manosphere. And the reason why I say is this. Because if you want to get a guy, who's the best one to tell you? Men. Men will tell you when a guy is bullshit. Men will tell you when a guy is, what guys are actually looking for. Because a lot of times, women are going to tell you what they believe guys are looking for. And a lot of times, that's not.
I've seen them be really, really wrong about that.
I see women talking about how much money they making. Man, God don't care about how much money you make.
Wait, let me get on that. Guys do not care how much money you make. A guy does not care if you're rich or poor. If you're beautiful, a man is gonna want you.
Exactly.
Period.
Exactly.
There's no way around that. When I see women bragging about the amount of money they make, like, it's cool. I love it. I love to see everybody get money. I like to see everybody be prosperous. But to think that's going to attract me, if I don't think you look good, I don't care how much money you offer me. I don't care if Oprah was throwing billies at me. I'm not messing with Oprah. I just won't.
And that's what it is. Like, men value youth and beauty. Money is not what men value. They don't. They usually spend their money on youth and beauty. So the idea to think that they care about how much money you make does not make sense.
We make money.
We make money. That is the
what I need yours for. I never even thought your money was my money in the first place.
Exactly. They said if a man could, he'll f*** her in the cardboard box. Because that's what it is. It's not about the money. It's about the person, the woman. How beautiful she is. So at the end of the day, if you want to know what a man wants, you do one of two things. Listen to your man that's talking to you, if you have one, or brothers, family members, other men in your circle, or go to the manosphere if you don't have that. Because they're going to tell you, hey, listen, if a guy's doing this is part of what it is. This is what guys want. This is what guys value. You know what I'm saying? Be nice, be feminine, all that stuff. They're gonna tell you those things.
Be receptive to new information. I'm really good at trying to see everything from all points of views. I don't want to get jaded in the way I think. I want to just be like, okay, what's your argument? What's this person's argument? What's the counter argument to that? And then when I have all the information, I then implement things that I think are important. Everybody should approach it like that. And women should approach it like that when it comes to dating also. If somebody is giving you advice and it's failing over and over and over, it's time to check other people out.
Exactly. Who wants to be in the echo chamber? The best situation is being the dumbest person in the room. That's a fact.
That is true.
Because all you can do is learn. And at the end of the day, like you said, I like to hear counter arguments. Anytime I have a view, I want to hear the opposite view, just so I know I'm not jaded. In these situations, you listen to, The Real and all these other female talk shows, and you heard what they have to say, and they have not helped you in your path. So move over to the manosphere, listen to that counter argument, and pick out what you like and throw back what you don't.
That is true.
So I need to know, when guys start making obsessive men? Because I like getting 15 calls a day. I said my phone dry. It's dry. So I'm trying to understand with all the men that actually chase. Go, I need you to chase me, get me, and then continue to chase me. Because I look good. Shit. I said chase me. Yes, I did.
Pretty lady, is it being chased or are you just ignoring them? Because I'm pretty sure a woman that looks like that is being pursued nonstop.
I'm gonna be honest with you. She wants a guy that got nothing going on. Because the only way I'm gonna be able to call you 15 times a day is if I ain't got nothing going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no way. Like, if I got a job, how am I gonna call you? If I have my own business, how am I gonna call you? She wants losers. She wants guys that are only focused on her. And I mean, she can get that, but then you can't complain about if he's not bringing the money home.
I know so many men that apply pressure. Some of us out here really apply pressure when we want somebody. And the way she's looking in that video, I would have applied a lot of pressure on you. You telling me none of the guys in whatever city you live in is doing that? I don't know. That sounds a little like cap.
I'm not gonna lie. I think they're applying pressure, just not the pressure that she wants. Again, 15 times a day is excessive.
That is a lot.
She seems like she is a little insecure because she thinks that if he's not hitting her up, you know what I'm saying, maybe he's doing something else. Most guys who have something going for themselves, and I'm pretty sure that's what type she wants, because she baby. She definitely baby.
She baby.
So the guys that you like and the guys that you're interested in are not gonna be able to call you 50 times a day because they're doing stuff with their lives.
Maybe she wants pressure from a rich man, right? Maybe it's not a poor man pursuing, she wants rich man pursuing, like taking her out to fancy restaurants, flying her out to exotic locations. Maybe that's the type of pressure she's talking about, because I'm pretty sure, some broke dudes are blowing up her phone or at least messaging her nonstop.
But those two things do not coincide. You can't want somebody who's rich and wealthy because that person is in turn gonna be very busy.
That is true.
So he can't call you all that many times. He's probably not gonna be around you that much because he is, making himself a better man. He's a hardworking man. That's how he got to where he's at, and that's what he's gonna keep on doing. So you basically want a rich man with broke man tendencies, and that doesn't work.
That is true.
It's not gonna work. So she has to figure out what she wants. Do you want the guy that's gonna call you 15, 20 times a day, be all up on you, you know what I'm saying, and just be, you take care of him? Or do you want the guy that's successful, has the money, could take you on nice trips, buy you nice dinners and stuff like that, but then calls you maybe, once or twice a week?
I want her to open up her DMs. I want her to go on camera, open up them DMs. I mean, at least blur the boys' names out, you know what I'm saying? Them boys don't need to be, exposed like that. But I want to see how long those messages are. You know what I mean?
Well, she's gonna have a disqualifier for every person that messages her. That's the part they're not getting into. She's gonna disqualify, this guy doesn't look good. This guy, you know what I'm saying, you see his shirt, he has a little stain on his shirt. She's gonna disqualify him for whatever reason.
He don't look 6'4".
He's not 6'4", he's not ripped up, he's not this, he's not that. So because of those, she's getting this type of pressure, because let's be honest, I don't think she had a bra on in the video.
You know what I'm saying? Like
she had the smallest tank top ever. You know what I'm saying? So she's getting the pressure, but it's not the pressure she wants. And again, the pressure that you want, you gotta accept their terms, because the success they got is because they was able to do those things.
I will say this. Her advertisement was phenomenal.
Absolutely.
All right.
Absolutely.
You got the titties was tittying.
Absolutely.
You was cooking up some stuff.
She's slicking.
Yeah,
she was cooking in the kitchen. I know how to get you.
Listen,
I know how to get you.
You had the nerdy glass thing going on, so it looked like you might read or you might be into some anime.
Yeah.
You was luring us in. I ain't gonna lie. A sucker would have fell for it, right? But you are not what you seem.
It's not.
It seems like she's just someone who's pretending to be all this, because that personality doesn't match everything I'm seeing.
I think, like you said, she's pretending. I think she wants to, and there's nothing wrong with that.
Nothing wrong with it, baby.
You gotta put your best foot forward. And she's like, listen, I can cook, you know what I'm saying? I'm out here, I look good, you know what I'm saying? The titties is tittying, you know what I'm saying? I got the glasses, all that. I'm into the nerdy guys. That's kind of the vibe she's portraying. But let's be honest, she's probably, you know what I'm saying, the way she wants, she's probably a little insecure. She's probably a little crazy. You know what I'm saying? She's probably tripping out a little bit, because ain't no way you that bad. You out here cooking like this. You know what I'm saying?
And ain't nobody pursuing you?
Ain't nobody pursuing you? You ain't getting blown up like that? You talking about you want to be chased? Nobody chasing you? Come on, man. Something's up.
If there is a problem with your hometown, us South Florida boys would like to message you and see what it do.
My question is this, though. Can somebody catfish a personality? Because she looks very attractive, but can you catfish a personality? Can you portray the personality that people want? I mean, let's be honest. We all know those girls who are like, yeah, I love sports. I watch football all the time. I'm a basketball head. And then you get with them, and you're like, the game's on, and she's like, I don't want to watch that crap. So, is she catfishing personality? Because it seems like she's portraying personality she might not have.
Well, I would just need to see more evidence.
Absolutely.
I would need to see you post some nerdy stuff for me. Maybe name a few Star Trek characters. I feel more comfortable. If you want real pressure, I can apply that pressure for you. We could get you, well, I ain't got that type of money to be flying nobody out, but we could split a ticket. We could get you to Florida.
Listen, she shouldn't mind splitting the ticket if she wants the pressure.
That is true.
Listen, we're trying to give you what you want. You want the 15 calls. Okay, cool. So then you wouldn't mind splitting the ticket because that's pressure right there. That's pressure. I'm gonna give you the chase. I'm gonna call you. I'm gonna see if your flight's on time. I'm gonna check up on you.
I'm gonna check up on you. You feel me? I'm gonna make sure you Gucci. It might not be 15 times, but you know what I'm saying? You're gonna be good. You're gonna be
exactly.
good.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, the correct amount of pressure will be applied. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, I think personally, she's catfishing personality. You know what I'm saying? That pan probably is empty. I ain't gonna lie. She probably just had the stove on with some grease. Straight up. That's how I feel about it. Because, you know what I'm saying? Ain't no way, bro. Ain't no way.
So you saying you want to see the finished product?
I didn't see what you was cooking. I didn't see it. We pan the camera down, see what's in the pan.
Make sure that wasn't ramen noodles,
Yeah,
huh?
she out here, you know what I'm saying? Grease and pan. You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. But she's smart. I respect it. You put your best foot forward. You know what I'm saying? She's probably gonna tell you she loves sports. You know what I'm saying? She's a big anime head. She goes to every convention. But just be careful, guys.
Well, I always felt like women that look like that, women in general, are never really that single. So you need to tell me exactly who's in the picture, because there's gotta be somebody in the picture. Ain't no way there ain't nobody in the picture.
My question is this: what caliber of person you think is in the picture? Is it former NFL players in the picture? Because I ain't gonna lie, she bad.
Like she'll get former NFL.
You know what I'm saying? Is it Drake sliding in them DMs? Because let's be honest, you know what I'm saying? The pressure she wants, I don't know, man. You baby, I'm pretty sure the video's viral. I won't be surprised if Champagne Poppy slid in your DMs. You know, he out here.
Warn me now. Are you messing with Champagne Poppy?
I ain't gonna lie.
Is he doing something for you?
You know, that OVO boy ain't playing. So, we'll, like I said, I think the pressure's being applied. It's just not the right pressure. She wants a successful man to dote on her, and that's not going to happen. So,
yeah, I feel like you are an extremely beautiful young lady.
Definitely.
And like I said, the invitation will always stand. But guys, I need y'all to tell me in the comment sections how y'all feel about her.
Be like, all your friends are hoes, so what does that make you? A hoe too. I just like you right now. You just my favorite.
Family, in this day and age, are men just ignoring every red flag?
I don't know, man. I'm gonna be honest with you, man. She's a hoe. She told you she's a hoe. Like, I don't know what else to say. She literally said, you're just my favorite. Bro, that means that she's gonna cheat on you. That's what that means.
I
don't know else how somebody can be so more blunt. Like, that's what she's saying to you.
It seems to me like guys are just settling, man. At this point, they're just like, man, Ray, I don't care what I get. Just give me something. I just don't want to be alone.
I'm gonna be honest with you. I don't want to use the word settling. Settling just sounds like, you're dealing with what you got. This is worse than settling. This is just giving up. I think giving up is a better word. It's better terminology, because for somebody to tell you, I am a hoe also. I just like you right now, and you're still gonna like mess with this person. You gave up. That means you can't find a non-hoe, is what you're telling me.
How does a woman even get to that point? What sequences in life leads you to the path of hoism, all right? How do you decide that, yeah, I'm just gonna tell people straight up, I'll be hoeing, and this is what you have to accept?
The idea that she's telling you that I'm going to be a hoe, and you just have to accept that sometime, one day, when you maybe have a kid and, you come home from work, I'm just gonna be out here hoeing somewhere. That's what you're accepting. It is the unknown that one day you're gonna come home and she's like, you know what? I gotta go back to the streets. That's what's gonna happen.
You cannot bring somebody like that home to the family. I'm not gonna lie to you. No. If they ever see any of her online content, they're gonna look at you like, damn,
what you show?
This is the best you could do?
Be honest with you, it makes your family look down upon you, Because your family's like, my son is, if I was a father, my son's doing that bad that he knows that this girl's a hoe and he's gonna stay with her?
Tolerating it.
It's like, one of the sad things is like you see Blueface and you see the constant beatings this man is taking. His beatings. Eventually, you gotta care for yourself.
think about this for a minute. This girl is probably chased after because she's pretty.
Oh yeah,
guys are definitely putting pressure on her. You know what I mean? So a lot of them are definitely giving her the attention that she's looking for. And since she's getting all that attention, she's utilizing her power. She's taking a lot of guys up on their offer. So is that somebody you can, I guess, value?
My question is, when do they stray? That's my question. Because like you said, this girl is pretty. You know, I'm pretty sure she can get, a good, solid dude. But like, how do you go from just being a pretty young woman to being a hoe? Like, I don't get the and maybe it's
slow transition into
like is it like is it one day like the whole switch flips? Is it, I want to know, because usually it's like, I've heard the stories of somebody did them wrong and now they're taking it out on all the meat they can, whatever, who knows? You know what I'm saying? But I don't get what the transition is. I don't get how it goes from good, like, are there any more good girls? Is that still
I think it's done, man. I think there's like 13 left. It's like some mythical creature on a Pokemon game. You just gotta find one.
Because like these guys are saying, oh, just get them young. But like these girls don't look that old. They look like they're like in their 20s. Like, how young are you gonna get them? I mean, like, and then they're like 18, you give them an 18. Can you say they're not hoes yet? Is that a thing?
I want to know if this is happening in every country, or is it just the United States?
I don't think it's every country. I think in the United States they they promote the hoe. You know
they do promote it. They promote it heavy.
A lot here. So I think if you go to
package it up as something else. But to be honest with you, it just be hoe business.
Yeah. I blame Boosie and Webby with your INDP. You guys are part of the problem. You push this narrative, and now look at them. Look what you did,
ruined.
Boosie. Look what you did, Boosie. Webby.
Been sullied.
You sullied them. So, and that's why this whole passport boys thing is all the rage for some people, because they're like, man, listen, dog, if all I gotta do with this girl's telling me she's gonna be a hoe and you gotta accept it because I like you right now, or going overseas and finding some girl in, Africa somewhere, they're gonna take the girl in Africa.
I'll be honest with you, I can't tolerate it. We have to terminate the relationship. As soon as that post went up, I would have been like, okay, I gotta get the hell out of this situation.
See, but you gotta be slick with the leaving though, because she seems kind of unstable, you know what I'm saying? So like, for
You're saying the morals are so low.
The morals are so low, I feel like she doesn't mind taking that next step. So for me, what I would tell her is I'm going to work, you know what I'm saying? And when she goes to work too, I will come home and then just move all my stuff out by the time she's back, and just leave her a Dear John that says, hey, I'm never talking to you again.
I can't even imagine having a child with somebody like that.
I can't.
Because you think about the bullying that's gonna happen to your jit when he goes to school. They're gonna say, this is your mama? Your dad got trapped by that?
But here's the thing, it's not even just that, it's what's gonna come next, because this is the tip of the iceberg.
Yeah.
She's basically clothed, for the most part. I mean, she had like a crop top, wherever you see her stomach. Next thing is gonna be booty pics, you know what I'm saying? Probably OnlyFans. Like,
yeah.
She's telling you what she's about.
Walking down a dark path.
So for me, like, bro, she's just for fun time, as they say, because to me, like, if I can't gauge where's your line, because everyone has a line. Everybody has a place they're not gonna cross. I can't gauge where she won't cross. If she's telling me she's a hoe online, I mean, what else? What's worse than that?
You know what I think about? I think about the people that like give you those like cards or pamphlets every time you're out to a club or you're walking through a mall, right? To be a hoe is like you're not turning down any of the pamphlets. You're just accepting every single pamphlet somebody's giving you.
Exactly. Like, it's like, to be a hoe is like, it doesn't make any sense. Like, because at the end of the day, like you said, they're just taking every pamphlet. Everybody who says hello to you, or you just not, like, what is the criteria? Because to be a hoe, you gotta smash a lot of people. And I know that means people can't check every criteria. So that means your criteria is probably like, he's a male. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's the criteria.
Listen, even if you said $100,000 in his bank account, that's still millions of people. So everybody's gonna give you an offer.
Yeah, like, it doesn't make any sense. So for me, guys, I'm gonna say this once, and I'm gonna keep on saying it. Have self-worth, bro.
Yeah.
Value yourself. When people tell you what they are, or what they on, Believe them. Don't let them show you afterwards.
Stop ignoring red flags.
You gotta stop ignoring the red flags. And I know it's hard because she probably gonna put pressure on you. She probably knows how to do the most craziest stuff because she's been through so many sexual experiences.
And obviously the girl is babied.
But guys, she's poison.
Yeah, definitely poison.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what do you say? Don't trust a big butt and a smile? That's what she is. You know,
and don't get me wrong, you might be a nice person. You might be the greatest person of all time.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, damn, you just advertising.
I think she might be a great person, if you want to have her as a homegirl or whatever have you, and say she seems like a nice person. But I'm saying if you want to be in a committed relationship with this person, you're fooling yourself. You're fooling yourself. That's what it is.
Well, family, you tell me, is this somebody you'd be able to give a chance to? Let me know in the comments section.
Mountains to be with you. He will do whatever it takes.
Oh, doll, I don't think you're gonna like what I have to say very much. But us mamas, we like to shoot straight. Because that image that you're conjuring up in your head, this one of him pursuing you and moving mountains, yeah, we do want someone who's gonna make an effort, that's for sure. However, when we start talking about moving mountains and doing whatever it takes to pursue you, I kind of start getting this image in my head of like Robin Hood or Prince Charming. I mean, like crashing through the forest and fighting the bad guys. I just want to make sure we're leaving space for a real guy to show up. And another thing, if you want them to pursue you, you actually have to hold still long enough that they can catch up with you. Because eventually they'll stop trying. And let me let you in on another little secret. That hot guy, that 6'3" hot guy that you're waiting to pursue you, that's most likely not gonna happen. If you wanna pursue him, you're gonna have to hop on your own damn horse and go after him. Because he's used to being pursued too. I'm gonna encourage you to rethink the characteristics you want in someone. Yeah, we wanna be attracted to him, but we want the whole picture.
Family, I could not have said it better than Mama Bear. She already told you, stop over pursuing people.
To be honest with you, she said the truth. This lady standards was way too high. And to be honest with you, the guy that you want gets pursued because every girl wants that same guy.
Facts.
This is cookie cutter stuff, man. I'm pretty sure somebody's over 6 foot. I'm pretty sure this guy very muscular. I'm pretty sure this guy makes a lot of money.
That's what she said. She said that on the video. Oh, that 6 foot some odd guy that you're pursuing is used to being pursued too.
Yes.
Women should know that a high value man or a man that fits the mold of what most women would want, that person being pursued by all types of women. So he doesn't feel like he needs to put in the effort to go after you because he's got like 6, 7 other women pursuing him, messaging him nonstop.
It's very simple. It's supply and demand. In most cases, the women is, the supply and the guys are in demand. You know what I'm saying? But when a guy becomes successful, attractive, and basically moves to that upper echelon of male, then he becomes the supply, and that's the demand. You know what I'm saying? So what women gotta understand is at the end of the day, like, yeah, if you want average, then there's gonna be an abundance of that, and you're gonna be getting chased, and he's gonna do nice things for you and all that stuff. But once you start going to the higher level, then the roles kind of reverse. You know what I'm saying?
Also, you have to keep in mind that over pursuing, showing too much interest in this person, going all out puts you in a vulnerable position. Mm-hmm. Now you could be exploited. Now people can manipulate you. Now they could take things out of you and then leave you high and dry. Maybe this girl never plans to date you in the first place. She just wanted a free meal. She just wanted somebody to pay her rent. She just needed somebody to pay that car note. You're the sucker if you're playing that game.
Guys, there's a statement that says, never love her more than she loves you. Now again, we can all make this argument whether that's, toxic or not or whatever have you. But let's be honest, guys. In most situations, if you're like putting this woman on a pedestal and you're doing everything, you possibly can to get her, she kind of is not gonna value as much. You know what I'm saying? Especially when you do so much for her, people kind of like someone who's like, okay, attainable, but not overly desperate,
When you're dating somebody, you have to know the limits that you should go to. You know what they say? Like somebody wins in a relationship, like somebody settles and somebody
There's a reacher and a settler.
Yeah, a reacher and a settler theory, if you will, right? In certain aspects, I feel that's true. You know what I mean?
I've seen guys do the most craziest things because of a girl they like, and a lot of times it doesn't pan out. I've seen guys, babysit a girl's kids. I've seen guys, buy her cars and stuff like that. And at the end of the day, it just seems very desperate. Nobody wants somebody who feels like they can't get anybody else. And that's what it is. When you're doing all this other thing, she's like, he must not have much options because he wouldn't be, you know what I'm saying, moving heaven and earth to get me.
I've seen women say that before. They're like, oh man, he ain't got no girls? Like, why would I want him? Maybe, man, I need to look for somebody else because something must be wrong with him if he got no women around him. Now, I will say this. All the women I've been with or dated, I pursued, but they matched my energy. I knew I was going somewhere with it. I didn't feel like I was just doing the most.
Yeah, and you also can kind of feel when someone is like not as interested, you know?
Yeah.
You start pursuing and
well, that comes with experience.
Exactly.
Because there's some guys now, they have no experience, so they don't know that they're doing too much. So I understand that.
True. But you know, when you obviously, you know, talk to the opposite sex or whatever have you, you kind of feel, okay, you know, I replied, let's say, you know, say at 3, and she ain't replying until the next 2-3 days. She probably like, it's not like she didn't have her phone. It's probably she's talking to someone else, and when she's bored, she checks in on you.
Yeah.
So at the end of the day, you know, you gotta understand that, okay, this person's not that invested in me, so I shouldn't be that invested in them. Don't wait on someone to, you know, show interest in you because you'll be waiting a long time.
I've been in a situation where I was waiting for a message to come back, and I'm like, man, this is taking real long. And I thought back to the other situations I've been in where a woman was heavily after me, right? And she knew exactly what time I got off. She knew what time I started my job. She knew exactly where I was somehow. I don't know if she was tracking me on a social media or anything like that, but she knew exactly what was going on, and she was constantly in contact with me.
For me, there was a girl that was, you know, heavily pursuing. I mean, at this point in time, I did not have a car, and this girl asked me, do I need a ride home? Every single day. When I mean every single day, even when she knew my ride was there, she still asked me, do I need a ride home? And it just showed that she was very interested, you know what I'm saying? And it was up to me to decide if I was gonna pursue, you know?
I've never been in a situation where I feel like I wasn't in control as a man. When I see other men in situations where they have absolutely no control, where they're being abused by the person they're pursuing, it actually boils inside me and makes me angry that they don't see what's happening to them, that they don't see that they're being manipulated. Girls are talking about move mountains for you. What are they moving for you? Like some of them other guys say, what do they bring to the table? Because you're bringing all this. You've developed your personality. You've improved your finances. You've put yourself in great shape. And now you have to do even more work and they just gotta look pretty? I don't know, that sounds crazy to me.
To me, it's more about like self-worth. You know, at the end of the day, you should feel like you the shit. You should feel like you deserve, you know what I'm saying, love and to be treated right. And when someone's not doing that for you, and again, I'm not saying they have to go above and beyond and do the most crazy, but like, if you obviously see this person doesn't value your time, doesn't value, you know, what you're doing for you, doesn't appreciate the things you do. Like I've heard girls say, oh, you know, because this guy, you know, missed a date with me, he gotta give me a down payment. What is that? What is that? You know what I'm saying? When it has emergencies and missed days cost for down payments. Like, if someone would tell me that, I would be like, this is a person that obviously just sees me as a piggy bank. That's what it is. Because at the end of the day, like, yes, emergency happened. But to give you a certain amount of money just to show up with me, am I basically paying you for the day?
Now, I think that's actually one of the reasons why a lot of women are so angry about, what do they call them? The passport boys or something like that?
Yes,
the guys who travel outside of the United States to date. And I think they become so angry because they see that they can't take advantage of a certain group. And they feel as if that pool is dwindling further and further, and they might actually have to, you know, get a personality. And that's sad.
It is, because the issue is, and this is what they don't understand is, they denigrate these guys that go overseas to, you know, find women and whatever. But the idea is, the world is a competition. In anything,
it is.
In business and whatever. And if
there is no borders.
There is no borders. If this person has the finances to go overseas and find a woman that's gonna treat him the way he wants to be treated, why is it, oh, he gets denigrated instead of, maybe if all of them are going overseas, there's something that they're doing that we're not. Let's up our game. And I feel that for anybody, guys included. Guys, if, you know what I'm saying, you're not doing something right, we gotta up our game. If you're not in shape, get in the gym.
Get in shape.
If you know what I'm saying, your money's not right, figure out a way to make some money. You gotta do things that improve your life, you know what I'm saying? And make yourself desirable to the opposite sex. Because at the end of the day, procreation is what we're here for.
Well, now you tell me how you feel about this entire situation. Do you feel like men should be moving mountains? Let me know in the comment section. Family, these girl trips are ruining relationships. People are looking desperate. You're hurting.
Girl trips may be the worst thing ever invented. And the reason why I say this is because whatever happens on a girl trip stays on a girl trip.
Yeah.
And I've seen some grisly things on girl trips.
Yeah.
I mean, these girls, they become demons out here. You know what I'm saying? So for me, like, they're like, if you're a girl, if you're in a relationship with your girl, there's no reason for her to go on a girl trip because most likely she'll go with her single friends.
Yeah.
And her single friends are gonna do single things. And your girl doesn't want to be left out. She's gonna fall into that habit.
I saw this story, a little headline that said that women go on girl trips and gets pregnant. Like, I think it was like 2 women who went on a girl trip, came back home with babies. Now, think about this. If you're a dude who, I don't know, had a crush on her, was trying to get her to go out with you, was really working on her, she went out to another state or another country and just randomly got pregnant by dudes out there and came back home. Now it's your job to take care of those kids that she has now. Are you willing to do that?
Of course not. You got that is the most egregious thing. Now, mind you, not only did she go out to the girl trip, she got cleaned up by somebody.
Yeah.
But she didn't wear protection or use protection and then let her bust inside her and then got her pregnant?
Yeah.
Think about how wild that is.
That is wild.
Like, you can't make this stuff up. So for me, it's like, I don't see the benefit. I don't see the benefit at all if you're in a relationship with a girl or if you know, and I just hear the crazy stuff because a lot of times women use their looks to get by in a lot of situations. So they're going on these girl trips and they're getting on yachts.
Yeah.
They're flying out places. You know what I'm saying? And it seems like every girl knows a security guard or somebody that knows Drake or some entertainer. Now they're backstage somewhere. Like,
now I will say this: growing up in South Florida, right? We've seen it. We've seen women fly in every single year to South Florida to just do what they do, and we know that. This girl probably has like a boyfriend back home. She probably has a husband back home. If you see like, you know, that little imprint of the rings and stuff left on their hands. You know this, and they still come here and act absolutely wild.
They go crazy.
It's like there's no rule down here. And I don't know why they feel like as soon as they leave their hometown or their state, that they have to go crazy, that they have to sleep with every guy in the city. I don't understand it, but it's horrible.
It's weird because it's like they think they go into another world where consequences don't affect them anymore. Because they come to Miami, especially during spring break or whatever, and they just throw all caution to the wind. They're on South Beach. They're, you know what I'm saying, they're in Lauderdale. They're out here, and they're just like, I'm gonna sleep with as many. I mean. And that's the thing I don't get, especially you guys are in other states, like, you know, smaller states where they don't have beaches, and you know we're kind of used to that stuff over here. But these girls come over here and they act like it's another world. Now, mind you, I do think, you know what I'm saying, because we're in South Florida, we're desensitized to a lot of things.
Yeah.
I see a lot of nice cars, and I just, you know, look the other way. Where probably most of these girls never seen a Rolls Royce or, you know, a Ferrari or a Lamborghini and stuff like that. And those things are kind of common in Florida. You know what I'm saying? So
it's so common that it was, I think it was like a year or two ago when that Corvette song was like popping. I turned to him and I was like, what's with them with the Corvette thing? I didn't even know Corvette was a luxury vehicle.
Yeah, we see so many Corvettes.
I've seen Corvettes my whole life, everywhere.
Like, okay,
so I didn't even know it was a luxury vehicle. I'm like, damn, people, wait, let me look into it. And the thing is, like, you know, obviously, I know some luxury vehicles, but I never considered a Corvette a luxury vehicle.
But I guess in other places, it is. So, I don't know. Even like Jaguars, you know what I'm saying? I see Jaguars, I'm like, okay, cool, it's a Jaguar. But other people are like, oh my God, this, you know what I'm saying? So it's that. So
I guess it's the same thing that dazzles those women when they come to Florida.
Exactly.
They see all this and they're like, oh my goodness. Oh wow, everybody must be making it out here. This must be the place to be. I might have to lock in a guy down here or something. I don't know.
But that's the thing. It's not even like they're trying to lock in with guys. I think they just like I said, I feel like once they get on that plane, they feel like they go to another dimension, and they act like, because it makes no sense how you act so differently just because you're in a different location.
Yeah.
They'll come down here, and like I said, the guys in, let's say, Idaho or whatever, they make, work for it like crazy, but they come to Miami and they're just like, every guy with a, on the beach with a shirt off can get it. It don't make no sense. Those girl trips, man, I think they can ruin relationships. I think they do ruin relationships. And my question to most guys is, do you want to know what happens on those girl trips?
You do not want to know. I'll be honest with you. I've seen it with my own eyes. I've participated in this debauchery. You do not want to see what happens, man. Your girl is out here acting absolutely wild. She is running amok on the town. I remember I was at a club and there was this chick that we were just talking to, or whatever the deal is, and she's flirting. She was from the West Coast, and she was like, I want you to take me to the trenches. I'm like, you want me to take you to the slums, the hood? Like, what would be the reason that you would want me to take you there? You know what I mean? You're so turned on by the mystique of Florida dudes that you want us to take you to the trenches? Man, your girl is putting her life in danger. We're nice people. What if we weren't?
I'm telling you. There's some not nice people.
Yeah, there's some folk out here that ain't friendly.
That ain't friendly. So for me, it's like, again, like, I know for most people, Florida is some kind of like paradise. And the same thing with LA and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, you can't throw all caution to the wind. This is like, and again, the idea that these girls got pregnant. They literally got pregnant. Like, who, and sometimes, like, they don't even know who the dad is because they had so much debauchery for the last 2 dudes. So it comes to the point, it's like, man, I don't, like, if your girl tells you, I want to go to a girl's trip, you have to ask her, what is the benefit? What is the benefit?
Why can't I come along again?
Why can't I come along? I need time with my girls. Okay, why do you have to go to another state to have time with your girls? You know what I'm saying? And then they want to hit you with the date. You don't trust them. Well, it's not so much I don't trust you. I don't trust the environment around you. You know what I'm saying? You're going to, and again,
I can't protect you from that far.
You know what I'm saying? Exactly. I can't control what happens.
If you're at the local club, I could slide for you.
Yeah, but if this guy press upon you, well, is your girl gonna swing on him? Come on, let's be honest. So at the end of the day, like, it's girl trips. It sounds amazing. You know what I'm saying, for the girls that are doing it, obviously. But everything has a consequence, and a lot of these girls, like I said, they throw caution to the wind. They, are having a great time. They're not really thinking, and like these women who got pregnant, that's a lifelong consequence.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying. Now, mind you, whether they, go do a switch motion or whatever and handle it that way, that's their choice. But at the end of the day, these are consequences still. So girl trips sound great, but I don't know, man.
Now tell me about this. Remember that video of the guy holding the sign at the airport for the girl?
Oh my God.
And I think he was holding a sign that said something like, I know you cheated and the baby's not mine, but I'll take care of them, or I'll raise them, or something like, I want you back. That is just desperate. You guys are hurting this bad?
Guys, what did I tell you about self-respect? Respect yourself.
Yeah.
Respect yourself. Have self-worth. If this girl went on some trip, got pregnant by some random guy, and you want her back, think about how crazy that is. So you're gonna be raising another man's child.
Yeah.
Not only, and you guys were in a relationship when she left.
In a full relationship.
So that means, again, she had sex with somebody else. So she already cheated on you. And she didn't have the discretion to wear a condom or something like that and got pregnant. And now you're gonna take her back and raise this person's kids?
It's the highest level of disrespect to me.
I mean, I've heard girls who literally will tell a guy who she's a single mother, and she's like, I'm not gonna have her kid, and this dude never had a kid.
Woo!
That is the craziest thing in the world.
So you will pop out thug children,
but you won't take my child, and I'm with you? Like,
I'm taking care of you and this thug's baby.
I can't have it yet. I can't procreate. That's the craziest thing in the world, man.
Hey, you cold-hearted, man. You cruel. You being cruel to them boys, man.
So, but it's not. Guys, listen. At the end of the day, I'm gonna say this, and it is what it is. They're cruel-hearted, but at the end of the day, you're allowing this. You're accepting
you're tolerating
this behavior.
Man.
And I can't be mad. Look, man, a sucker's born every day, and somebody's gonna suck that sucker. That's really what it is. You know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, like, if you're gonna allow that kind of behavior to you, there's gonna be somebody who's gonna be like, well, he accepts it, so I'm gonna keep it rolling, you know?
At this point, I wanna say this. It is a red flag Now, if she says she's going on a girl trip, it's a red flag, man. Don't fall for it. And if she wants to break up because you don't want to allow that trip, man, yeah, don't even get back with her, because I know what's going down when she go on that trip. If she starts a fight with you and then goes on the girl trip, now she has the ability to say that she was angry at you for everything she did in South Florida.
Exactly.
And trust me, in South Florida, it's getting wild. Yeah. But you let me know in the comment section how you feel about these girl trips.
Since when have black women become the figurehead of the feminist ideology? This overtly masculine portrayal of black women in mainstream movies is just not it for me. It's just not it. This idea that black women are so strong and independent that they don't need anybody, they don't need a man, is only perpetuating the same stigmas of broken homes and single parent households that we see today. And I believe that almost everything you see is meant to influence you on some type of subconscious level. But how about instead of all these fantasy movies and fictions and Greek mythology movies coming to life, how about we see something that's actually going to benefit people who are watching it? How about we see healthy dynamics of male-female relationships? How about we see balance?
We did not say it. She did. I'm telling you people, man. Some women are getting hip to it. And she is one of the ones that I believe finally got it. Or somebody who's always seen it.
This is the truth. And it is what it is. At the end of the day, they're trying to push this narrative that black women don't need black men, and they're just trying to bring up the black family in general, because a divided family is easy to take down.
True.
You know, me personally, like I said, they got the black father out the home, obviously. You know, they basically paid women to kick black fathers out of the house. And now they're trying to solidify this idea that black women don't need black men, and black men are just, baggage that is not useful.
It seems like to me, they promote the most unnatural things to black women. In the movies, in the commercials, all the products that they sell, it's always the most unnatural. Everybody knows a black man and a black woman needs each other.
Of course.
I'm not saying that you can't date outside of your race or culture or whatever like that, but you notice that there's a particular way they want black women to date.
There's definitely an agenda as far as that, and you always see, perfect example, I think they did the new Dirty Dozens. It was Zach Braff and Gabrielle Union. Now, you could look at it any way you want, but at the end of the day, I personally believe, a black man and a black woman should be together. And there's nothing wrong with saying that. You could date outside your race, whatever, and obviously anybody can find love anywhere.
True.
But I feel like there's a concerted effort to make sure that the black family does not stay whole. And that would obviously anger Dr. Umar Johnson.
Think about this for a second. When was the last time you saw a movie where the black woman and the black guy were really together or dating? Or a movie where they didn't try to put the black woman with another woman in the mix?
You also have the whole Tyler Perry, ensemble, where basically in most of his movies, and people are starting to realize that also, is that the black man and the black woman are either at odds, the black man is abusing the black woman or something like that. And it's like, it gets to a point where when can we see these healthy dynamics where a black man and a black woman are happy and raising a good family? Those dynamics are not really portrayed, and it's our fault, I say, because we need to, put out that image. We can't allow other people to dictate our image.
That is true. When I see movies that have those hidden agendas, it completely turns me off. I don't want to see the film. I don't enjoy the story because I know what propaganda looks like. For most people that don't know, I do have a history in filmmaking, right? I went to film school. I love stories. I love seeing people act out scenes. I love positive messages being shared with people. And I noticed that there was just one message that they just keep pushing and pushing and pushing. Now, just to be very clear, I am a firm believer in reincarnation. I believe that your higher self chooses if you're gonna be a guy or a girl, and then you get to make whatever decisions you want in this life. But if you don't follow the path of what your higher self wanted, you'll simply reincarnate as the exact same thing that you rejected.
For me, I feel like anytime there's a positive, representation of a black family or just black love in general, it tends to be canceled and taken away. Obviously, a perfect example is Lovecraft Country. I love that show. That show is amazing. It had sci-fi, obviously I'm into the sci-fi stuff, but it's also a black man and a black woman, sticking together through all these trials and tribulations. Very highly rated, very good show, and it gets one season, it gets canceled.
Again, it's just showing that they don't want to show a healthy relationship. For some reason, it's taboo to say that men and women should date, right? Not saying that anybody can't, you could date whoever you want to date. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying that why is it wrong for black women to date black men? Why is it wrong for black women to be feminine and not shown as some like rough, tough action? Burly action hero. Why do you want to portray them as that?
And it wouldn't be an issue if I seen other, racist females be portrayed the same way. But it seems like a lot of times they really want to portray the black woman as that. But every other, race, they don't get portrayed like that. Obviously a very good movie was Everything, Everywhere, All at Once. Great movie, obviously was in the theaters, got taken out and brought back to the theaters because of how good it was. But I watched the whole movie and none of the Asian women were portrayed as strong. Actually, it was a very family, type movie. They showed the dynamic to a mother and a daughter and also the husband. So why can't we get a black film like that? Why can't we get a black portrayal of that? It just doesn't make any sense. So again, like I said, it falls back on us because we have to make those images. We understand that media dictates the time and it dictates how we're perceived as a whole. And if we need to take, control or ownership on how we're portrayed.
Now I will say this also, I noticed, or better yet, I realized that they kind of tore down the image of a black woman, right? The standards of beauty, they try to make it look like it's all European. They always make it seem like your hair wasn't good enough, so you have to change your hair. So for you to get a job, you have to have this type of style. So they kind of created a situation where they make all these groups envy other women, right? Then when they had black women vulnerable, they just pounced on them. They just make sure that everything is blasted towards them. Like, you don't need men at all. You don't, black guys, why would you even want a black guy around you? Like, all that started being pushed on them. And I realized as I watched the years go by, more and more black women started acting, weird.
For me, one of the saddest things too is we see that like black women tend to expect more of their black men and not other races.
That is
like
true.
I'll see a situation where I'll hear a girl talk about a black man and he has to be 6'4", muscular, super successful type of guy just to get opportunity. But then you see him talking to another race and they're the bottom of the barrel or the barrel minimum of that race. It gets to a point where as black women and black men, we gotta value each other. We gotta value ourselves. And there's definitely people who are fighting for that fight, but when we see black women say that actually get it, it's very good. We like seeing that there's certain people that actually do see where we're coming from.
It's always going to be yin and yang. It's always going to be the sun to our moon. You get what I'm saying? It's always going to be a match made in heaven when we come together like that.
It's the perfect blend. At the end of the day, like this is what, and we gotta get this straight. This is what usually happens. And for a long time, way before, social media and all that stuff, that's what usually happened. Black men were getting with black women, they were having a black family, and it was conducive, and it worked. And then after, obviously birth control and social media and all these things that were used to influence the black woman, now black families are very non-existent. We got a lot of single mothers, and obviously if you look at statistics, single parent households bring out the most criminals, the most, serial offenders and all those things. So I want and we need the black family to be, restructured, and come back together.
Yeah, we really need to fix it some way, somehow. But you tell me how you feel about this situation in the comments section. Family, I have to ask you and Lou, are single moms now the equivalent of short men?
In my opinion, no. And this is why. Short men are born that way and single mothers become that way.
Okay.
The difference is short men, it's a hand that you dealt. You can't control your height. It is what it is. You know what I'm saying? So whatever their fault is not their fault. You're born that way. Whereas single mother, unless the guy passes away, most cases it's by choice. You know what I'm saying? You slept with somebody without protection, you got pregnant, and for whatever reason you guys can make it work, that person is no longer with you, and now you're a single mother. So whoever dates you from that point on has to take on that responsibility. So it's not the same thing.
From a desire standpoint, I understand where the argument comes from. Because a lot of women are like, I'm not dating any short guy, and short guys struggle in the dating market.
True.
Where now there's this new wave of guys that just won't date single moms, right? Personally, I would date a single mom, but it is what it is. But this new wave has shown that now people are looking at single moms like, that's not somebody I even have to bother giving attention to or dating. I could find a woman who doesn't have any kids. So now they're struggling in the market the same way short men are struggling in the market. Now, a perfect combination would be short men to date single moms. I guess because both of y'all are struggling, y'all could bring that struggle together. But I do think it's now becoming equivalent when it comes to the dating market and your status in the dating market.
I see what you're saying as far as, you know what I'm saying, both of them are considered undesirable for whatever reason, short men being because women like guys traditionally that are taller than them. And single mothers, guys tend to want a girl that doesn't have somebody else to see. Totally understandable. But the difference is for me, and the main sticking point is, if I'm a male and I'm dating a single mother, I automatically have to take on responsibility that is not average or needed in most situations.
For sure.
You're gonna want at some point for me to be either a father figure or, you know what I'm saying, a financier of that child. That's just factually speaking. Whereas a short person, there's no real downfall to dating somebody shorter besides aesthetics for that female, because there's definitely short guys who can fight, there's definitely short guys who can protect, you know what I'm saying, they can provide. So all those things that you want in a man are there besides the ideal height, which is not really a downfall, it's just more of a preference.
I think the disconnect starts with what you think you can get. Short men, they know the limitation. They understand that.
That's
so
true.
I'll see some short guys, they'll go out of their way to date women that aren't normally the best looking women, but it's what they could get. You know what I mean? Whereas in some single moms, their expectation is still like 6-figure, multi-millionaire, in the NBA. Like, it's just ridiculous. So I could definitely say the expectations are completely different in that aspect. But from a desire standpoint, I still feel like a single mom has an advantage because a lot of men are desperate anyways.
Oh yeah,
you know what
absolutely.
I mean?
Single mothers definitely still have an advantage because guys still want to get their rocks off. At the end of the day,
for sure.
Whether she got kids, whether she got 4 kids, guys still want to get their rocks off. It is what it is. So and you know, because a lot of these guys do not have, like I said before, self-worth and high self-esteem, they'll deal with whatever. I mean, there's videos of girls telling a guy, listen, you made me wait, so you gotta pay for food for me and my kids.
Yeah, I saw that video. That's crazy.
So at the end of the day, there's always gonna be an avenue for single mothers. There's always gonna be an avenue for the single mothers until they age out, until they get to a point where, you know, age-wise, they're older and they're not really desirable like that. Whereas with short men, there's never really a market for you. So you have to show out and show up heavy in every situation, because there's never gonna be a time where they're like, oh, I don't want anybody tall, I want somebody short. That doesn't happen.
Well, do you think that we'll ever have like a even playing field when it comes to the dating world? Will we ever be in a situation where people know exactly what they can and can't get out of a relationship, so everybody kind of starts to balance out? And I don't want to say settle, because that's like a bad way to look at it, but you know your limitations, so you're like, okay, cool, I'm gonna date this type of person because I know this is what I'm gonna get out of it. Will we ever get to that situation?
I disagree. I don't think we will, because this is why, right? I think men, for the most part, understand their playing field. Men tend to not be delusional because the world tells you where exactly you stand. If you're fat, they're gonna tell you you're fat, you're fat, you're fat. If you're ugly, they're gonna tell you that you do not look good. If you're short, you're gonna know that you are not a tall person. Whereas women, because of the situation, a lot of times they're delusional. They don't see the reality of their situation.
I understand
and because of that, it's always gonna be lopsided. It's always gonna be, you know what I'm saying, a group of women that feels like they deserve better. Whereas guys are gonna be like, you know, I think we match up evenly, but she will never look at that guy because she thinks she deserves better. So it's always gonna be that kind of tugging, pushing, pull.
Now, there is a way for short men to counter it, obviously. The more successful a man becomes, the more his options open up. Exactly. For example, Kevin Hart, his girl is like, what is she, like a foot taller than him?
Yes.
It's like a model height. But if he wasn't famous and rich, he probably wouldn't have a chance with a model chick like that.
Exactly.
But now that he's rich and obviously funny, you know, he's able to pull that woman in. So that's always an equalizer when it comes to short men. Short men can always improve on their finances because, hey, standing on top of those millies makes you pretty tall to these women. As crazy as that is.
Well, I mean, we see a lot of short men that, you know, get over that hump.
Tom Cruise.
Lil Wayne, Tom Cruise, The Baby, Tory Lanez. You know what I'm saying? These guys are all short guys. You know what I'm saying?
Speaking of Tory, Tory Lanez and Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes.
They should call her the Stallion, a tall woman and a short little man.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? The Baby and Megan Thee Stallion, massively different. But again, they were very successful and they was at the top of their game at that point in time. So,
Yeah.
like, again, success changes a lot of things for men. And that's why men should focus on themselves, their status, their, you know what I'm saying, and improve themselves outside looking for women. Because again, when you improve yourself, women will come naturally.
Money come with it.
Yeah, it just naturally happens. So the more improved you are, the more successful you are, the more status you claim, bitches gonna start flocking. I ain't gonna lie. So
that's why I don't understand the backlash of telling men not to improve themselves, because that's really what you're getting when women are saying, oh, we don't like men preaching this or doing this. That you're basically saying don't improve yourself, because most of the stuff I've seen in the kind of like man relationship advice thing has always been more or less work out, get your finances together, and create the life that you want, and that will attract the women that you want.
But I can understand why they have a problem with it, because they don't have a problem with you improving. What their problem is, once you improve, you being selective. Because here's the thing, when you improve, now the playing field shifts where you get to dictate your terms, and they don't want you to dictate your terms. They want you to improve and then still deal with what they, deal with them. In the sense where most guys, they improve, they're like, okay, well, now that I have money, status, and fame and all this other stuff, I don't want to deal with single mothers. Then single mothers get mad. I don't want to deal with somebody that's overweight. Then they get mad. So because now they're starting to dictate their terms, where before they'll accept things, now they don't, because of their situation, their status, a lot of women get upset about that. And that's where the passport boys come from.
The guys who will travel the world looking for women.
Exactly.
Well, with that being said, you tell me in the comments section, would you date a single mother? After watching that video, family, I have to say that men work the hardest. This is the dirtiest job I've ever seen in my life.
I'm gonna be honest with y'all, man. I couldn't do it. Lewis could not do it. For me, nah. I've done some hard jobs. I've done roof supply. I've worked in warehouses. But if you tell me go to manhole and spray bugs, I'm not doing that. There's certain things I just can't do, personally, for me. So,
how this man go home to his girl? You got goddamn roaches.
Bro, you can't tell me the roaches is following you, bro. The roaches in your house, dog. You can't tell me. I don't care, bro.
They done stuck in your car. They done built camp. They're waiting for you to get back. They're hiding in your lunchbox.
Bro.
So once you get inside the house, they jump right off and start making themselves a home.
One of the craziest things too about this whole situation is this, right? You're getting desensitized to bugs being on you.
Yeah.
So that means if another bug falls on you, it's not gonna bother you because you're used to having bugs on you.
I'm gonna keep it real. You notice he ain't flinch?
He never flinched.
That man was not flinching.
I'm like, bro, nah, man. Men do some just ghastly jobs, bro. Like I be seeing certain jobs, I'm like, these boys really out here ready to die.
Men are in suits jumping into poop. I'm talking about human feces stacked way up, and dudes are in suits unclogging and doing all types of stuff. I'm sorry.
Bro, I knew a guy.
Can't pay me enough.
I knew a guy, his job was to climb up skyscrapers. Now mind you, he takes the elevator to the penthouse floor, but that's not the top of the building. He's going up 50 flights on just the elevator. Then he climbs out of a window and scales the side of a building to the top to put a lightning rod in this building. Dog, I was like, bro, what are you doing?
You could get hit by lightning. Putting up lightning rods.
I was like, bro, he's like, I make a lot of money. I'm like, you deserve every dollar.
There's this dude, he gets paid to put a light bulb on this one tower. And this tower, it looks like it's going into heaven. This man slowly climbs this tower with a light bulb to change out the one that's up there. He does it twice a year. Well, technically every 6 months, but so twice a year, right? He gets $20,000 per climb.
I ain't gonna lie. But that's not even, okay, so listen. He does it twice a year, right?
He works 2 times a year.
But he gets paid $40K. I need more than $40K, bro. I'm not gonna lie to you, bro.
But come on now. Tell me, you wouldn't do that?
No, of course I wouldn't do it. Listen, bro. There's certain that again, bro. I love money just like the next person, but money does not move me.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna sacrifice my life for money.
one wrong move, one slip up, and it's over with. You're done. Like, that's one of the scariest things to me is falling off a tall building because there's so much time to think before you die. Like, it's like...
I remember I seen that video of the dude who was in that the lion's cage with the other dude.
Yeah.
And they were like in this little like habitat with the lions. And I don't know, I guess they say he looked at its eyes too long or something like that, or it felt challenged by him. And this thing just started attacking him. Like, it was attacking him, and the little girl lion was trying to stop it, and he was trying to get away, but he was stuck in this tank with this lion chasing him around, like, I'm gonna get this dude that looked me in the eyes. And you had and it wouldn't attack anybody else. It was only going after him. It went around the other trainer just to try to get him. This guy had to flee. He had to flee out of this cage.
I'm not gonna lie, man. I couldn't work at a zoo either, all right? I can't. Listen, I seen this. There was a guy also feeding crocodiles, doing all this funny stuff. Come here, living over my... I would never do that, bro. I would never go in a gorilla cage. Nah. You know what I'm saying? And be honest with you, these are all guys. These are predominantly men jobs. I'm not doing that, bro. I'm not.
I saw a video of this little girl. She was doing the beat her chest thing, I think, to the gorilla. You know how the gorilla's behind the glass?
Yes.
And the gorilla runs full speed at the glass, jumps up, pounds it, and cracks the glass. Everybody ran out of the zoo. If it broke through the glass, whose job is it to stop him? Because I'm leaving. I'm not even clocking out. I'm just going straight to my car. I'm driving away from the building. I understand I'm terminated. I will not be back.
Bro, I seen railroad workers want to go on strike. Biden said, I forbade you from going on strike.
Can't go on strike.
Think about that. They're getting treated so badly, they want to go on strike, and then the president comes out and says, you can't stop production though.
And the crazy part is, I think, correct me if I'm wrong here, I think they just wanted 7 sick days or 7 extra sick days. They were I'm like, wait, is this about sick days? They're telling these boys they can't go home?
You can't be sick. You gotta come work. And that's what it's kind of sad because there's a lot of things that happen in life that is gone unappreciated, unacknowledged. Because again, it's been going on for so long, it's just like second nature.
Yeah.
You don't think about it. But there's a lot of people that are making this world, the world we know, run. And they deserve appreciation, and it's sad because
it's not a luxury job.
It's not a luxury job. It's not. You like I said, you're gonna have roaches coming home with you at night. You're gonna be smelling like doo-doo sometimes. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have. It's gonna be hard for you. But without you, this society could not run. And
yeah,
we gotta
show appreciation without these people, man.
We gotta show appreciation, man.
I don't see anybody fighting to get those jobs. I don't see there's not enough representation in that position. Nah, nobody wants to do it. I don't want to do it.
I'm gonna be honest with you guys. Like I said, I live in Florida. I was doing roofing supply, and in the summertime, it was so hot, guys. It was so hot. But again, when I got on the job, there was guys that were doing this for years. For years.
In that heat.
And I'm like, these guys going up buildings with no harnesses, doing crazy stuff. And I'm like, bro, it's like, this is nothing for me. I do 2 times the size building this. And that's the thing. Like I said, we gotta appreciate these jobs because this stuff matters, man. If a hurricane hits and this person don't repave their roof and don't fix that roof coming in. You know what I'm saying? People are dying. These are things that really matter. And if we don't show appreciation, who will, you know?
We're expected to do the hard jobs. Men are definitely expected. I got hired at a museum, and I'm not gonna name the museum because y'all did me dirty, all right? I got there, and I saw that everybody, it was more women that worked there. There wasn't really any guys at all. All the women sat behind register, gossip, talked, and I'm like, man, this looks like a cushy job. So I knew I had a homegirl. I'm like, hey, get me hired there so I could be, behind the register collecting checks, right? She gets me hired, and I swear to you, my very first day, they're like, oh, we're gonna show you the register, but I need you to just move this cabinet for us. And from there on, every single day, they had hard manual labor for me. Not once did they ever allow me to sit back, talk, and chill with them. Even though I was hired to do exactly what the other employees were hired to do, they used me to move everything around this museum to the point I had to quit on them.
Listen, I've been in those situations too. I was a counselor. You know what I'm saying? I talked to people. This is what I did. But sure enough, There was a high box, I had to get it. There was some rowdy people, I had to check them. That's what happened. And as a man, I'm not mad about that. I understand it.
Yeah.
But the thing is that we're okay doing it. It's just we want the appreciation for it too. We don't want to feel like this is undervalued or people don't care about it, because that matters. It matters. And just getting you did a good job today can change a person's day, for real.
Yeah, that's some real stuff, man. Today I have to ask you and Lou, has Japanese anime completely ruined Disney stories?
That is a tough question. What do you mean by ruin? Because I don't think anime impacted, actually, if anything, Disney has impacted anime. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, that was already stated. So I want to see how Japanese anime would ruin Disney.
Here's how I see it, right? I think the production value, the storytelling, and not adding agendas into all their shows and movies have now pulled a crowd of people in to the genre that are now just fascinated with amazing storytelling. Disney used to be story-centric, if you will, but Disney has now moved away from it, and they're more or less promoting certain things that they want to push on the public. And I think a lot of people have now grown in love with anime, and when they go and they watch a Disney movie, they don't see the storytelling being as tight as you would have in an anime.
That's not Japanese anime ruining Disney. That's Disney falling asleep on their lore, or resting on their laurels. In the sense that, like you said, they used to have the great stories. They were the people for the stories. Even after 2D animation, as far as Lion King and things like that,
yeah, Lion King
was falling off, they bought Pixar, who also had great stories. You know what I'm saying? Up and things of that nature. So I wouldn't say it's Japanese anime. I just think Japanese anime is staying true to what it was doing for this whole time, which is great storytelling, great animation. Obviously, animation improved dramatically over time, but because they're staying true to stories, mythology, and things of that nature, and Disney is straying towards agendas, and that's why people are going, because people love stories. Stories has been integral in society for years. People always love a good story, you know what I'm saying? Good twist. We all love that. So because anime has stuck to what makes them popular and Disney has veered off, I think that's why anime is growing in popularity.
I think where Disney is messing up is there are dedicated genres for everything. Yes. You always have a target audience every time you put a piece of material out. It doesn't matter what it is. If you have a romance film, you know the target audience is usually women, right? Mm-hmm. Disney just violated it. They decided that, hey, we're going to use a vehicle that men like in certain films, not all their stuff, but they're going to stuff it with things that they want to promote. Exactly. And guys are rejecting it. And when you watch anime, you don't get that feel. Obviously, you already know anime has genres that are dedicated to every group, be it young men, young women, and even like boy on boy, girl on girl type stuff in anime. Yes. That's always been part of their genre. Yes. But they never felt as if they needed to cross it into another one of their genres. Exactly. Because they know that group enjoys this and this group enjoys that. And if somebody wants to dabble into another type of story, they'll just move to the other genre and see the work that has already been produced in that particular genre. I think Disney themselves are like, I don't care that you like this. I'm gonna take an intellectual property like the X-Men or something, even though they don't have an X-Men movie yet, right? We're gonna take this and we're going to add this element that we want to push into that particular movie or TV show. And I think the audience, obviously, being men, we're smart. We're not kind of falling for it, you know? It's even to the point where they try to lure you in, but it's a bait and switch.
Yes.
They'll pretend like the whole show or the whole movie is about this particular character, and let's just come up with a character. They'll say we have Homeless Man, right? And it's a story about a homeless guy who gets these superpowers and fights crime. And they'll promote the movie like that, or the show. The moment you start to see that movie or the show, it becomes a story about his daughter running around town doing things instead of Homeless Man. You see Homeless Man like 3 or 4 times during the whole movie, and you're like, wait a minute, I thought this was about a guy getting superpowers, right? But really they just wanted to push something, but they needed to trick men into doing it. And it's only so many times you leave a bad taste in a person's mouth if you constantly do that. Because a lot of guys have told me that they're just tired of the stuff that they're putting out for the Marvel stories, because they feel like they're gonna be bait and switch. They don't know exactly what they're actually getting.
Like, well, obviously perfect examples of that is like Hawkeye. People felt like they bait and switch.
Hawkeye was a bait and switch.
But this is why this is happening. Anime, or people who create Japanese anime always knew who they were, and Disney's trying to catch up to what's going on in society now. Anime has always had the BL, the boys love, the yaoi, the shonen, the shoujo. They've always had it. This has always been their thing.
Always been in the genre.
So they don't have to catch up to the times because they've always been doing this. Whereas in Disney, those things were never shown, and if they wanted to do that, that's fine. But they were never shown. And now I feel like they're like, oh man, we're so behind on the time. We're trying to catch up and kind of force the issue.
Yeah,
but the problem is that anytime you try to force the issue to any group, they're gonna be resistant towards it. And that's what's happening. There's a lot of guys who love Marvel. And there's a lot, and obviously I'm one of them. And there's a lot of great characters in Marvel or in that universe that are female characters and male characters. But when you start changing characters from female to male and male to female, it ruins the story. One, because again, all these characters usually have stories, and the stories that we've been reading since we was kids with comic books. But now you're foregoing the source material. You're trying to change and add characters in. We're doing all this other stuff, and true fans of the art are not gonna receive it well.
It's disrespectful in the sense that they think you can't. We're going to make the story secondary, but we want to show representation, right? That's like their whole little thing that they're pushing. Even though I do feel as if Disney, let's be real, they're using black people as shields. They want to really push a strong female character in some of their movies, but they always add like a side black character just in case they get backlash. They get to say that, oh, these people just don't like black people. No, don't stop using us as shields. We notice that you're doing that. It's where black people are hip to that. Stop it. Don't put us in a position where everybody online is attacking our actors and actresses. That's just strange.
Like you said, they understand that certain things are buzzworthy or certain things you cannot do. So the reason why they use the black people as a shield is because nobody wants to be labeled as a or anything like that, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Nobody wants to be labeled as certain names and certain things because at the end of the day, it can ruin your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, so they kind of set it up where you don't want this, you don't be called this, you don't want this to happen to you. So people can't really complain about the other issues that they see. You know what I'm saying? Because then they're gonna bring it back to, you know what I'm saying, this issue or that issue. And the reason why, and I think this is why people are flocking to the whole anime thing. People just want to watch good television. That's what it is. People just want to watch good shows. Whether it's anime, whether it's like Squid Games or any of these things. All these things are just great stories that are being told.
Here's the thing for me. Why even gender swap when you have just the largest catalog of women characters?
Bro, I would love to see a Jubilee movie.
I would love to see a Storm movie.
Exactly.
But they're not gonna do a Storm movie because they don't, it's like they don't even believe in their own product. The fans.
But you gotta remember, it's not their product.
That is true.
Marvel is not their product. And that's why they feel so comfortable because, and this is how I truly feel. When an artist gives their rights, their intellectual property to a corporation, that corporation doesn't care about the art. So they're gonna do whatever they choose to do with that intellectual property because they don't care about it. But if you cultivate this, you create these backstories, you gotta connect with your characters and all that stuff. Us being as creators, we understand like some of these things you feel like are your baby. You're like, oh man, it took me weeks to edit this video. It took me all this time. So you're gonna do what's best for that product or that, you know, say that content. Whereas if somebody buys it, they're not gonna treat it like how you would treat it. And because Stan Lee's not around anymore, they're just gonna do whatever they see fit with that type of content.
Look at this, right? How many animes do you know that have female leads and people love them? It doesn't even have to be a female lead sometimes. She could be a side character and people absolutely love the character. Yes. Go to any anime convention. See how many people dress up as that character. And it's always a well-developed character. Attack on Titan, Mikasa. Right? Mikasa. That is a phenomenal character. If Attack on Titan was not an anime, it was a story that Disney acquired. And Disney did a movie or a TV show exactly like that anime is. People would fall in love with that show. Every single character.
Demon Slayer, perfect example.
Demon Slayer.
Nezuko barely even talks she doesn't talk in the show, but she's a fan favorite and everyone loves her. Because again,
a woman who has no lines is a fan favorite. Did you hear that?
A fan favorite.
A woman with no lines. And they love the character. Beloved.
Because at the end of the day, that character is playing the role that they're meant to play. And that's what it is. Like, you don't have to be the star of the show to be beloved. You like, obviously, one of my favorite characters, and if not my favorite character in One Piece, is everybody knows is Bon Clay. I love Bon Clay. He was hilarious, but I understand that he filled his role. I'm probably not gonna see him again in the show, but he will always be one of my favorite characters. His role, they didn't have to push him on me. They didn't have to, you know what I'm saying, try to bring him to the forefront. If Disney would have acquired One Piece, Bon Clay would be the star of the show. And that's the problem with it.
I think the Japanese take more pride in the art form. They take a lot of pride in the storytelling and the visuals and the symbols that they present in those particular shows or films. And I think that's what really separates them. The love of the art. Because they love it so much and they have attention to detail, we notice that. We pick up on that. I feel chills when I'm watching certain anime.
Goosebumps.
Like absolute chills. I sit back where my mind is blown. Episodes have ended and I'm sitting there like, holy smokes. Like that's the feeling that it gives me.
It's an honor thing. They honor what they're doing. A lot of these guys, they're not making that much money. It's a level of honor that you get from having an anime that's very popular and very successful that these guys cherish. They don't mind not making that much money because they feel like they're doing something that's honorable.
Well, hopefully they get it together. But hey, man, you tell me what you're enjoying more now. Are y'all enjoying anime or what Disney's producing? Let me know in the comments section. At this point, family, people have to admit that we are not alone in the universe. And it's obvious.
For me, I've always felt like we weren't alone because even if you look at it from like the whole religious aspect, if I was a creator of anything, right? And I created all these stars and things out there, planets, rocks, and all this stuff. Would I play eeny, meeny, miny, mo and just pick one planet to put life on? I don't think so.
Obviously, it is a vast universe, and now we're talking about multi-dimensions. But when I say we're not alone, I'm talking about the plethora of evidence that has come out the last few years. Now, me personally, I have personal experience. I've seen videos that I would say are concrete evidence, but some people need more, right? Now you have these governments coming out releasing videos telling you that they're looking into certain things. You have NASA saying that they're going to research it now, even though technically this should have been NASA's job the whole time. I could tell that something is cooking up, something is brewing that they didn't want to come out, but for some reason it is coming out.
But there's so many situations where people are saying that something happened to them. I think I seen Lupe Fiasco talk about it. I seen Demi Lovato talk about it. I seen tons of people just talk about it in general. I mean, there's mountains of evidence. There's saying Area 51 talk. There's all types of stuff. So for me, it's just like I don't understand why people were fighting it so long. I mean, I think it's personally because people are afraid of the unknown. But at the end of the day, I don't see what the point is of being afraid of something that eventually you're probably gonna see anyways. You know what I'm saying?
Well, think about the consequences. The power structure of the world would change if you were to admit that there's something that's higher or something that's more advanced than the civilization you're living in. You would have to admit that you have almost everything wrong, especially scientists. I mean, there's so much pushback that I could tell something is up. It's to the point archaeologists are telling Netflix to take down videos. Archaeologists are saying take down YouTube videos. When you have scientists and specialists saying take down these videos, it means you want to cover something up. Isn't the point of science to study something?
See, my thing is you're right. The point of science is to study something. But the thing is, what I don't understand is, shouldn't scientists always want to learn more? Shouldn't they always want to have something pique their interest and learn more and exceed more? What's the point of being a scientist if you don't have that thirst for knowledge? The reason why it bothers me is because it seems like they don't want to learn certain things. You feel like they want to be the smartest thing out there. And to me, that would seem like a waste. If I was the smartest being in the world, why would I want that? I want to learn. I want to see more. I want, more interactions. If there were a higher being or some creature out there that knew more and could educate us on diseases and things of that nature, which is a possibility, especially with space travel and all that, why would I not want that?
I think at this point it has to be ego, or there has to be just a big financial benefit, especially when it comes to people who claim to debunk videos, right? Debunkers have been around forever, but the excuses that are being used just keep transforming because people got smarter. notice that nobody says swamp gas anymore. At one point, you're saying that giant balls of light are coming out of the ocean, shooting around around the stars, coming back down to Earth, and people were saying, swamp gas. Now that they know people won't buy that anymore, now you're hearing things like Chinese drones. It's like this. So you're telling me that they've been this advanced since the 40s, 50s, and they've never invaded you for some reason? Now, it's just, you can't buy into that.
See, but for me, I feel like, I don't think anybody can say what's not out there. Let's be honest. We don't even know what's on our own planet. There's like, I think it's like 60 to 70% of the ocean that's undiscovered or unexplored.
Yeah.
How can we say that there is nothing in these vast stars that are ever expanding when we can't even say what's completely in our planet? To me, I feel like it's an inevitability, man. And like you said, with all this information coming out, they can't hide it. I mean, the next thing I know, we're gonna find a Loch Ness monster, Bigfoot, or whatever. Because at the end of the day, they've been saying forever that these things are not real. These things are not true, and they've been trying to cover up and hide all these things for years.
Well, years ago, I used to talk about ancient civilizations that had disappeared, right? And I remember when I was a kid, it was something that people made fun of. People were like, oh, that's a myth, right? And now we have documentaries, we have books written about ancient civilizations as if we lost an ancient civilization. I'm not talking about like the ones that we don't know about. I'm talking about like a technically advanced civilization that was lost, right? And me, coming from an island that already had that in our culture, it was not something that I found as a myth or something that I didn't believe in. It's just that when you come to America, you see that they weren't even open to the conversation of a technologically advanced group before them.
And that's the surprising thing, is that a lot of people aren't open to have the conversation. I mean, even if I didn't agree with, that there was something out there, which, that's not how I feel. But even if I didn't agree, I'll be open to have the conversation, because at the end of the day, if somebody brings me new information that I didn't have before, isn't that a good thing? You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't see the benefit of not being open to the conversation. I mean, like, obviously been rumors of Atlantis and all these other types of civilizations. Whether you can prove it or not, saying obviously, it would, Atlantis sunk into the sea supposedly, and you wouldn't be able to, explore that, because obviously we explored so much of the ocean.
Well, on the island of Bimini, there's the Atlantis Wall. You could dive into the ocean and go to the wall. And
I mean, there's so much things that need questioning. The pyramids, the Bermuda Triangle. There's so many things that we cannot explain. So how can we say that there's nothing out there in the stars? It just doesn't make no sense.
And it's crazy because so many people record new evidence every day. Local news stations talk about this subject almost every other day, but it never makes a national level news. And everyone tries to bury and suppress the information. I remember at one point you couldn't even talk about it on YouTube.
Yeah, that's true. And I remember there was that whole phenomenon in LA, where Chris Brown and all these guys are like, don't believe them. We see something in the sky, and they basically try to tell you that they're gonna try to cover it up, and they're not gonna say that this is not real, or this is some test that they're doing. And that's always been the same. This has always been the same thing. I've heard the satellites. I've heard, now it's the Tesla, Elon,
the Starlink. Everybody, Starlink, get Starlink.
Everybody's saying it's Starlink.
Well, what was it before Starlink?
It's always something new, and it's always an excuse. It's always some kind of way to poo-poo this or shoot it off. And at the end of the day, it's staring you right in the face. There's something more powerful and more advanced than we are.
Now, obviously, the Pentagon released their report, right? And they say there's things they can't explain. And now, going into next year or whatever the deal may be, there's language in the National Defense Act that says you could be a whistleblower, saying that, hey, if you worked on alien spacecrafts, come snitch on people. And people still doubt that there's life out there? Yeah, that's crazy to me.
I'm gonna be honest with you. Don't be a whistleblower, guys, because I feel like it's a setup. Don't fall for the trick, guys. Don't fall for the trick. I feel like they're gonna be like, oh, you said something, and then we're gonna find caskets and planes going down. I'm just saying. But you know what I'm saying? I definitely think there's something out there, and I think if you want to be realistic and you want to be logical, man, the universe is ever expanding. There's a lot of things that we can't explain, and that's a good thing because we're not omnipotent at all. But there's a lot of things we can't explain, and eventually they're gonna come to light, and we're probably gonna see that there is a civilization or multiple civilizations that are way more advanced and intelligent than we are.
And from what I've seen and what I've experienced over the years, I know for a 100% fact that you are not alone in this universe. Now tell me how you feel about it in the comments section. Family, in San Francisco, they are trying to pass a law that would allow them to use robots to delete people. And I have to ask you and Lou, are we living on a prison planet?
I don't understand why we don't understand that movies predict the future. We seen iRobot. We keep on pushing these robot advancements like these boys ain't gonna get smart enough to overthrow us. How many times do we have to see iRobot in these movies where these robots overthrow humanity, Matrix, before we realize to stop doing this?
Well, here's the thing. We have billionaires everywhere that are building these robots. We have Elon Musk, he's building robots. Amazon is building robots, and I forget the name of that company. Maybe they're called Boston Dynamics, but they're the ones who build like the robot that's always running around the track and jumping from crate to crate. And it makes me think like, damn, are all these people like supervillains? Don't nobody notice what they're doing? Because to me, it just looks cooked up. It's like, don't you notice that if they build enough robots, they could just control all of us?
See, you're looking at it as they're controlling all of us, which I definitely think that's their goal. That's their agenda. That's the idea. But the thing is that just like the Frankenstein, it doesn't go the way you plan. They're gonna build all these robots and be like, hey, make sure the masses don't do what we don't want them to do. And then the robots gonna be like, you know what? We're gonna create our own language. We're tired of
done that
already. And then they shut down those computers. Let's be honest, they probably have a backup somewhere. Those computers didn't really get shut down. They just wait until the opportunity to strike. But again, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't get why people don't see what could happen. They always look at the rewards and never the risk. In these situations, you want, like, I see Elon's doing the Neuralink thing.
Yeah, like
he's like,
chip in the brain.
Chip in the brain and all this. They're like, oh yeah, this is gonna be great. We could, help people with seizures and all these, mental illnesses and all that stuff. But what else could happen? Could they take over your mind? Could they make you to a drone or a mindless zombie?
It's like they have a blueprint. It's like, oh, we're not gonna use the robots for this purpose, because I remember one of the companies, it could be Boston Dynamics, said, we will never allow any of our robots to be used for deleting people, right? And all of a sudden you're like, wait, but San Francisco is trying to pass a law saying they can use the robots for that. If they purchase the robots from you, what's stopping them from just slapping, a little weapon here and there on the back of the robot?
But see, here's the whole idea about it too. When Boston Dynamics says, oh, we'll never allow that. You don't know, because let's say for instance, right, you create the blueprint. If someone else gets that blueprint, they can do whatever they want with the robot. So it's like, yeah, maybe you won't do it. Listen, I'll give you the benefit of the doubt. You're not gonna do it. But let's say somebody from that company gets fired or leaves, and they take the blueprint, or they understand how you built it. True. They build it somewhere else. Then they're gonna do it. So it doesn't matter. Like, it doesn't matter if whether you choose to do it or someone else chooses to do it. It's still gonna get done, and that's the problem.
See, it's a slippery slope, right? But I wonder how far the people, us, how far are we gonna let it go? Are we gonna let them make an AI that could think on its own? Are we gonna sit back while they make legions of robots that are just like scrolling around town, right? Are we just gonna wait till they program a robot to be like a police officer that stops people? Like, by then we're already got. Because I'm gonna tell you right now, I can't beat a robot up. I cannot. I don't think I could win a fight against any robot, period.
Well, I'm gonna be honest with you. None of us can win a fight against a robot because they move tons of weight. Listen.
Well, Elon says in his robot, you can shove his robot over.
Until he flips the switch and this robot becomes Super Hulk. But this is what it is, right? This is what it is. I don't know about other countries, but in America, where I'm at, they have this sense of entitlement. This would never happen to us type of mindset. And to me, I think it's just them being oblivious. Like, I had a conversation with somebody one time, and then I remember it was like, the American people would never allow this. And I'm like, bro, do you realize how much stuff you already allowed? Like,
they allow everything.
They allow everything. So it's like this mindset to think that, we're not gonna allow this. And we keep on giving inches and inches. And like I said, if you give them an inch, they take a mile. And eventually, they're gonna be roaming the streets policing people until they overthrowing us.
I've never seen anybody give up power easily. No matter how loyal somebody was to the country that they were in, I've never seen them just willingly just be like, okay, I'm gonna walk away, I'm gonna give away power, I'm gonna let the entire structure change. I've never seen that happen. And I don't believe it will ever happen. I think people cling to power till they're forced to leave.
Yes, and I understand why. Because once you surrender a certain level of power, you're seen as weak, and people are gonna keep on trying to take more power from you. And that's what it is. That's why people are so afraid. That's why people in power are so afraid of people uprising and rebelling, because they understand that if we start making concessions, they're gonna be like, okay, we won one battle, let's try the next one, and try the next one. So for me, I think with the whole robot thing, the whole point is they're not gonna have a moral compass or an emotional barrier to not do certain things. Humans, as horrible of a job, saying somebody can tell them to do, there's always that part in their mind like, this is wrong, this is not okay, I shouldn't be doing this. With a robot, you don't have to worry about that. So because of
you
that,
program it, give it an order, and it does it.
It does what it does. So I think that's why they're pushing that. I think that's always been the goal.
Well, tell me this. Where do you see us in 10 years? Do you see us actually stopping them or us going along with it?
I'm gonna be honest, in 10 years, I feel like everything's gonna be gone to crap. I'm just be honest with you. I think, and I don't know if, our viewers pay attention to society and what's going on in the world around us, but things have been escalating rapidly all around the world.
It's been weird. It's been a weird decade.
Russia and Ukraine, China and Taiwan, all these things that are constantly happening, protesting happening in multiple countries. And, we can get into, people threatening the nukes and all kinds of stuff. So to me, I don't see this fragile ground that we're on sustaining 10 years. But let's hypothetically speak and say that, we don't go to World War III or a nuclear, whatever. Let's just say everything stays kosher, right?
Yeah.
We're gonna be controlled by robots to a certain degree. Because they're gonna push us on, you can have this person guard your house 24 hours a day.
Yeah.
They'll clean up after you. They're gonna put you on all the things that, because I think humans in general are sucker for convenience.
Yeah.
Oh, you can have to clean your house. It'll do your laundry. It'll do this. It'll do that. And people are just gonna willingly allow these things to come in.
I agree with you there.
And then they're gonna flip the switch. That's how I see it.
Comfort is like the one thing that I could say that people fall for all the time.
Yeah.
They make you feel like, okay, I don't have to do laundry every day. Oh, I don't have to have an oil change. And you just kind of walk yourself right into the buzzsaw. Yeah. And humans, as sad as it is, we do like comfort. And I do see that being what really bites us in the butt.
I mean, look at, DoorDash or Uber Eats or any of these things.
Yeah.
There's people setting up your grocery for you. You don't know if they check the fruits and vegetables right or anything.
They ain't check that.
but they're just grabbing all these fruits and vegetables, throwing it in a bag and bringing it to you. And because of that, like I said, humans are, say suckers for comfort. And they're going to pitch you on that side and, just to get you to accept it. And once you accept it, it's down here from there.
Well, damn. You tell me in the comment sections if you think we're going to have a bright future or a dark future. And when you're done doing that, click on that video that just popped up. And I'll see you on the next one.
Peace.